it's time to wake up. Kincade and Salciunas is on the air. Broadcasting live on the Fanatic app and YouTube channel. Here are your hosts, John Kincade and Andrew Salciunas. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Yes, that is us. That's John Kincade. I'm Andrew Salciunas. Happy Tuesday morning, Philadelphia. 9 days away from opening day. We have a championship game to watch tonight. First, Team USA taking on Venezuela, who had a great come-from-behind win over Team Italy. And then the boys come back home after tonight. Bryce Harper will be back with the Phillies, and Aaron Nola already making his way back because Italy lost yesterday. And we'll start getting prepared for opening day. I love that back-to-back starts are 4 o'clock. Like, I love that. The opening day start is 4 o'clock. The game 2 is 4 o'clock. I love that, man. Good morning, Johnny.
You like the Saturday, the Thursday, Saturday, or you complain about that? I used to hear that from Jamie, complain about it. Other people complain about it.
Like it sucks.
I like it. Because then if you have a rainy day on opening day,
right,
you can move it to a nicer day.
I know there's a reason why they do it. It just sucks that you get so fired up for opening day,
okay,
and then it's fun. And
I like it, though.
And then you don't have it.
Well, hopefully it'll be a good one, and happy St. Patrick's Day to you.
That's right. You at least wore green.
Yeah, and I'm Scottish, so
yeah.
I'm got some Irish in me.
It's not that I'm anti. It's just I woke up this morning, picked the clothes that I picked, and had went about my day today.
My great-great-grandfather came to Philadelphia and he was came from Dublin on a boat.
Right.
But it was he was actually Scottish, but came to Dublin on a boat. William Kincade, and then had a house on 13th and Lombard.
Oh, how about that?
I've taken a picture of the house.
Damn right, man.
There
Connor,
it is.
you going to be chugging some Guinness today?
No. It's a Tuesday.
Well, he'd be chugging
school
Guinness
night.
otherwise.
Well, yeah.
No, whoa. I'm the only one of the three of us that has school today, so please.
Yeah.
But happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Happy 9 days to opening day. Happy A.J. Brown hasn't been traded yet. We'll probably talk about it at some point day. We'll get into everything with you. But we want to start talking with some Phillies because we are 9 days away. Yesterday, we touched on Zach Wheeler a little bit. We'll speak with Jim Salsbury today at 8:05. He watched Zach Wheeler's live BP session the other day. A lot of signs still pointing to a late April, early May return for Zach Wheeler, which is
It's promising.
It's very promising. You know what? Like in the back of my mind, I keep on thinking, am I going to be in Clearwater when Zach Wheeler pitches?
You could be.
I could be in Clearwater when Zach Wheeler pitches because I'm flying out April 6th.
Now, I have a feeling that they will move him. Wouldn't they have him be up, Connor? Wouldn't you suspect they would have him throw up higher before bringing him up?
Warm weather?
I honestly don't know. So with a guy like Zach Wheeler, they're probably going to ask him. I'd be like, what do you want to do?
Ask him, what do you want to do? I'd have him face double-A hitters before I'd have him throwing down in Clearwater.
Sure. I would live in Clearwater for an extra week before
it's not bad.
before I go to some of the other areas, but it's all good.
Hey, Reading's nice this time of year.
It is. It's beautiful.
Nothing makes
a lot of people want to move to Reading in March. All right, so 9 days away from opening day. It has been the longest stretch, Johnny, where Bryce Harper, and I believe the only stretch really for a lot of people, where Bryce Harper is starting to get questioned. It's been a very strange couple of months with Bryce Harper and Philadelphia sports. I'm not just going to say fans, right? Because it starts with Dave Dombrowski having the comments that he has after the season comes to an end, the not elite comments, and then we've had the back and forth of Bryce Harper and Dave Dombrowski like sub-speaking. Do you say that? Subtweeting?
Like subtweeting, sub-speaking.
Yeah. In press conferences.
The thing is, though, Dave Dombrowski's wasn't passive-aggressive.
Yeah, he was straight to the point.
He was just straight to the point. It was Bryce Harper has been passive-aggressive.
Yeah, he goes on the busing with the boys
I got
podcast.
no problem with it. Dave and I have talked and everything, and then it's passive-aggressive.
Right, I wouldn't know about that. I'm not elite anymore. Like he dropped one of those lines.
And the thing is, you say you bring up the not elite stuff. You better then go out and be elite.
Well,
you better then go out and be elite.
And so that's why the question to start today at 610-632-0975 is, what will our relationship be with Bryce Harper in the 2026 baseball season? Because if you think about it, He did not play well in that Dodgers series.
He did not. Among other people.
Among a lot of people. There are a lot of people that are blinded by the Mets series 2 playoffs ago because he did have a good series, but he also came up small in 2 very big spots. He had 2 big spots with runners on base, and he struck out. And we can talk about protection in the lineup till we're blue in the face because it's been a talking point for years now. But look, he's the man in the box. He was swinging at pitches outside of the zone. That is all on him. That's not on anybody else. And so I think people do forget how good he was in that Mets series. He was fantastic in 2023 up until the final 2 games of that series where he came up small, as did a lot of other
Game
players.
6, Game 7, but until then, his entire playoff was really good.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's a what have you done for me lately society in all sports. And lately, Bryce Harper has been battling injuries. Bryce Harper came up small once again in a playoff series, this time against the Los Angeles Dodgers. It then leads to the comments by Dave Dombrowski. It then has led to the passive-aggressive nature where he has spoken about what Dave Dombrowski said. It goes to the World Baseball Classic where he has struggled. Now, I don't think anybody should make these 6 games, into
a referendum.
Of who Bryce Harper is moving forward.
And I think that's very, very fair. Is don't expose yourself as saying like this is who Bryce Harper is.
But Bryce Harper's entering his 15th season in Major League Baseball,
which is really incredible.
Even though he's not old in terms of what his age is, 15 years is 15 years.
The odometer on him is old.
Yeah, there's a lot of mileage.
Right, exactly. I mean, Carlos the Civic out in the parking lot, Andrew's car.
Still kicking, baby.
Yeah, well, guess what? Is that Carlos isn't in the shape that Bryce Harper's in. But
might be in better shape. It just got an oil change last weekend.
But it is just
saying.
Bryce Harper
did his blood transfusion months ago. I got the oil change more recently than his blood transfusion.
Bryce Harper's been beaten up, though, and every year, unlike Carlos the Civic, Bryce Harper ends up in the shop for considerable time.
Yeah, I mean, it's been nagging stuff, too, right? Like, the back has always been a concern because of the violent nature of his swing. But then, the wrist, and I know the UCL, Tommy John thing, that's kind of unrelated, but
that's just wear and tear.
Yeah,
that's the years you're talking about,
like,
right?
15 years is a lot of games.
I mean,
man.
check the Carfax.
He had to move to first base because of it, right? Like, or at least that's the talking point to preserve his career. He moves to first base. Like, they are making decisions, have been making decisions on Bryce Harper to kind of continue his career. Now, nobody's saying that he is going to fall off to the point where he stinks this year. But what led to the not elite comment by Dave Dombrowski was basically, is he Bryce Harper from his prime? And he's not.
He's not.
Still a very good player, but he's not prime Bryce Harper.
And Bryce took offense to being questioned about whether he's elite or not. And to me, that is where I think a lot of this is where I just question when Bryce comes out with his not elite shirt that he then won't even take ownership of. And that's where I got really disappointed. He wears the not elite shirt. He goes on the passive-aggressive media tour going after Dave Dombrowski. And then he acts like, oh, the shirt? They gave it to me, and of course I'm going to wear it. No, Bryce, you had it made. You wore it.
You knew that somebody was going to take a picture of you wearing it.
You wanted to say, shove it, Dave Dombrowski. Just own it. I would much more respect if he said, I felt a certain way about how Dave Dombrowski spoke. Yeah. I still respect Dave. Dave's a great baseball man. I disagree with this assessment.
Could you put all that on a shirt?
And no, he could just say it when he goes on his little passive-aggressive media tours.
Right.
He could just say those words. I would respect that. And by the way, I would completely understand it if I was Bryce Harper. I'd completely understand it, and there'd be no reason to be like, but when you do that, you then have to begin to back it up.
Got to deliver, man.
And guess what? That backing up began as soon as the World Baseball Classic started.
And so far, it has not been good.
It has
for Bryce
not
Harper.
been good. No, it has not been good. But if anyone's making a referendum on Bryce Harper based on the small sample size, I think I think that's idiotic. I'm not calling you an idiot. But I think that's idiotic.
Well, John, I would say at least one person in the world has done that. Because last night, shout out to our man Sean Rodman for sending the audio. He sent it to me alone because he wanted you to get your live reaction on the air. But I think you're going to be in lockstep, even though a lot of times you and Kevin Cooney butt heads.
Oh, we do.
But Kevin Cooney went on a bit of a rant last night on Philly Sports Tonight, and here he was addressing the fans that you're talking about right now with Bryce Harper.
Can we please stop worrying about Bryce Harper's stats in the World Baseball Classic? It's 6 games. He has 8 strikeouts. That's not good in 24 at-bats. It's also spring training. If this was in a ballpark in Clearwater, none of us would give a damn. All this stuff sometimes that people get wound up over. If he has a poor April, criticize him. Do it. I'm okay with that. Bryce Harper's not beyond getting picked on. But if you're going to pick on him, do it for stuff that matters. Can we stop microanalyzing over 6 games? My Lord. Have you all lost your minds on these people who are like, oh, my God, this means Bryce is really regressing? Stop.
All right.
I think Kevin Cooney was as much as Kevin Cooney and I do butt heads on a lot of things. I respect the hell out of Kevin Cooney's baseball acumen.
Yes.
And I respect his knowledge of he's been in enough locker rooms and he's been around the game long enough.
Oh, absolutely.
He has my complete respect in that. And funny thing is people won't know is many times I don't know how many times I have come out of been at the clubhouse visiting someday or whatever, and I will ask Kevin about something. I will call him and ask him about something because he's been in a ton of clubhouses and understands things really, really well. So, though we disagree a lot of times about assessments of individual players or otherwise, I agree with that assessment completely. But the other stars in the World Baseball Classic, almost all of them haven't had anything even close to what Bryce Harper's had.
And here's the thing. And
almost all of them.
So we're clear because everyone will misconstrue what people say all the time. I'm not overreacting to 6 games from Bryce Harper. All right, did I make that clear enough?
You made that very clear.
All right, good. But here's the thing. I will say this in response to Kevin Cooney, and even though you and I and Kevin are on the same page, and I imagine Connor's on the same page as well, that we're not overreacting to 6 games. This leads back to the conversation of what our relationship is with Bryce Harper this season. Because going into the World Baseball Classic, what did Bryce Harper say? Who was he so excited to have?
He was so excited to have protection in the lineup because now he was going to be protected. So he calls out one of his own teammates. Yes. Because that's what you're doing. You called out your own teammate. You called out your own organization. And that is out of line to me.
And then?
That's out of bounds behavior. And then you wet the bed and don't perform.
Right. So I imagine majority of people, all right, we're going to speak to the majority today. Majority of people aren't overanalyzing his 6 games in the World Baseball Classic. I don't think the majority of people are. I don't think many of sane mind are, right?
I would say you're correct about that.
But him talking about having Aaron Judge behind him, can't wait for it.
Can't wait.
And then struggling as much as he does or has so far in the World Baseball Classic leads back to this question of what our relationship will be with Bryce Harper this season. You heard Kevin say it. If he has a bad April, get after him. He's not untouchable. For the longest time, he was. For the longest time, if Bryce Harper had a bad month, and a lot of it was to his own credit and his own resume, we would say, not worried about it, he'll turn it around the next month. We all said it. I think if he had a bad May, we all expected a tremendous June. We all did.
Oh, I think that's absolutely fair.
And that's a credit to what Bryce Harper has been able to accomplish in what will be a Hall of Fame career in Major League Baseball.
I think that's fair, yeah.
But are we still in that belief that if he has one bad month,
No.
that the next month he's going to completely turn it around? I don't know if we can say that at this stage of his career, which is crazy to say considering he's just 32 years old. But 15 years is 15 years.
No, you can't.
Connor?
You can't have the same belief.
Your thoughts?
It's going to be a long year.
Dude, it will be. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be a fun season. I'm going to say this now. 2026 Phillies baseball will not be a fun year for a lot of people.
I hate that you guys are saying that.
No, it will
it's
be,
absolutely correct.
It will be for me. It will be for you. It will be for Connor. But we've talked a lot about the Wake Me Up When October Comes crowd, which nobody is denying that crowd is
that crowd's going to be
alive.
ready. And they're going to be throaty.
And that crowd has every right because the Phillies have brought this upon themselves.
They have.
Whatever emotions you feel during the 2026 season, the Phillies brought it upon themselves.
You're entitled to those emotions, and I have always been one of those people just saying, pipe down. I don't want to hear it. But they've brought it on themselves. They really have.
Yeah.
They really have.
I mean-
I understand the frustration. I understand the angst.
We're going to watch
I feel
every
it.
game. We are going to – sorry, Kevin. We are going to microanalyze like almost every game this year. If 5 through 9 the order stinks, which it might, Dallas Garcia, it's just spring training, but he's not doing anything. Like 5 through 9 the order might stink.
They might.
And if that's the case, it's the same story from the previous year. It's the same story from the year before that. If Alec Boehm is slapping singles, because I know the Phillies are pimping him out every time he hits a home run against a guy that won't make a major league club because all the best players are in the World Baseball Classic right now. Every time Alec Boehm hits a home run, it's all over social media. Oh, could this be the year? It's not. Spoiler alert. Vinny Velasquez, we were waiting for that breakout season for like 6 years. It doesn't happen. Guys get a book. There's a book on Alec Boehm. He doesn't hit home runs. So there's a chance that once again, 4 through 9 the order is a weak spot.
Okay, well then that means that spring training you just have to completely ignore everything?
Pretty much, yeah.
Essentially, yes.
See, I don't believe that either. Like, I just don't believe that either.
I've seen it's like training camp, Paul Turner.
Yeah,
you know,
I've seen stuff too. I mean, I've seen plenty of stuff in spring training, but I don't believe that you just absolutely can ignore good stuff that you see too. But I do believe that some players do, like with an Alec Boehm, give you a reason to, I'll believe it when I see it against things. I understand there's more doubt when it comes to a guy like Alec Boehm. I imagine Alec Boehm's been snickering a little bit seeing the box scores out of the World Baseball Classic, as he was the teammate who Bryce Harper took a shot at.
a one of. Because Castellanos batted
Yeah,
cleanup.
he did too.
We could play Name That Cleanup Hitter from the 2025
I mean, he
season.
really
'Cause
did.
there's a
He
lot
really
of-
did. Bryce Harper really did. Like, and that's the thing is that everybody who's a big Bryce Harper defender doesn't bring up the fact is that's a bad teammate. That's a bad teammate with the whole Aaron Judge crap. That's a bad teammate.
I don't see it the same way, just because it's Aaron Judge. Like, if it was
I'm
Vinny
really looking forward to being able to hit with somebody behind me like that.
Yeah,
having that
if
protection.
it was Vinny Pasquantino, that's a bad teammate. If it's Aaron Judge, 8'4", like home run king, it's a little like
But
nobody's
but
hit.
No, but you're
No, no,
telling
no,
is
no.
that I don't have the protection in
If
my lineup.
you go back to the media availability, the Aaron Judge thing happened after he talked about the cleanup spot being a
Correct.
weak spot in the order.
Which
It was
that is
almost like
fair.
a throw-in.
And
Right.
it was a throw-in.
Yes, but it's not the Judge thing that bothers me.
Well,
It's
that's
him putting pressure on the cleanup spot outside of Aaron Judge.
Yeah, but that's a bad teammate.
What
because
it
how
should
how
be-
does a teammate feel when you're calling that teammate out? And by the way, Bryce, have you played up to your contract this in the past here, the little bit here?
Well, recently, no, because of
Are you the guy?
injuries.
Are you the
he had
guy?
a good statistical season last year, but everyone knows it wasn't Bryce Harper.
You were brought here to be the face of the franchise. Then they had to go get Kyle Schwarber, and now they got to pay him to be the face of the franchise because they need that guy to be the leader, the spokesperson.
By the way,
They've had to go find somebody else to be that guy.
I love how this joke will never end. Air on our YouTube chat. Tunis forgot that we signed Schwartz.
Exactly. I love that. That
Joke will never go
no,
away.
it's never going to go
Dave
away.
Dombrowski, his press conferences
He had a horrible offseason.
from November until today has created content or just jokes that people forget we signed Kyle Schwarber. We have a good club.
We got a good club.
If it wasn't just for the throw by Trey Turner, like Dave Dombrowski, those press conferences are so embarrassing. I'm sorry.
I'm shocked because he had an offseason like a rookie executive would have.
Yeah.
He didn't have an offseason that you would expect a executive of his caliber to have.
Or of his caliber, he goes, I don't give a damn what I'm
And
saying.
that could be.
Everyone knows.
And
Everyone
that could
knows
be.
I'm going to Cooperstown, and the second I get fired here, I'm getting a job somewhere else.
It just sounds low. His whole thing sounds like I am now going to start to spread the blame early
Sure.
for what hasn't been accomplished here. I'm going to start to make sure
It's the only
everybody
spot he
knows.
hasn't won in. It's the
Yeah.
only spot.
But bottom line is
Aren't we
this,
lucky?
right? So take the Dombrowski stuff out. Take the Harper cleanup comments out. Take everything out as far as that's concerned. All you need to know about what this Phillies season is going to be like is how people are treating Bryce Harper's World Baseball Classic performance. That means nothing for the Philadelphia Phillies season.
Yeah.
He's getting murdered over 6 games worth of
By
play.
Phillies fans and not
Right.
fans of the Royals
But why-
who are just watching.
But why is it? He's getting murdered because of the fact that he showed no grace to his own teammates and was like, yeah, I can't wait to hit in that lineup and have that. He's the one who brought this all on himself.
That does not lead to 6 games of one of your most important players who you need to be good. You saying, this guy stinks, he can't play.
No, this started this started in October.
Wait a minute, that's taking that to a whole new level. Connor, I'm not seeing what you're seeing.
I'm seeing a lot.
I'm not seeing this guy stinks.
I'm seeing a lot of, is he cooked?
No, I'm seeing people asking questions.
Yeah.
There's a difference between people asking questions and making statements. I have no problem with people asking the question.
I mean, if you're asking Bryce Harper if he's cooked, like that says all you need to know about how he's going to be viewed this season.
Well,
they're asking him. He's not a
lead anymore.
They're saying stop talking and start performing. That's what they're saying. Stop talking. Stop wearing T-shirts and start performing. Stop calling out teammates and start performing.
Right.
Yes,
and
that's
6
fine.
games of the World Baseball Classic is not the time to fight that fight.
It doesn't. He's the one who brought the fight to the table. So now that's going to be the question.
It's going to end up being who was more right, Dave Dombrowski or Bryce Harper.
It is. That's going to be the discussion.
That's the 2026 season.
It is.
Have fun, guys. All right, coming up next, we'll check the Davis Honda text line. Can't wait to see what people are saying. What will our relationship be with Bryce Harper this season? You can answer for your own personal reasons, or if you think you could speak for the Phillies fans, go for it. Also, coming up next, is the gap closer in the NFC East? It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Setting up for the stretch run, I'm Connor Thomas, and the Sixers and Flyers are getting set for the home stretch of their regular seasons as we cross the halfway point of the month of March. For the Flyers, it would be a welcome surprise to find a playoff berth with a rebuild still ongoing. Flyers president Keith Jones joined us yesterday on Kincade and Salciunas and talked about where he believes the rebuild is.
One of the things I'm really happy about is we are alleviating a lot of the cap pressure that we had in the past. All of that money is starting to come off the book. That was one of the objectives when Danny and I took over.
Flyers are off tonight. They'll host the Ducks tomorrow as their season continues. For the Sixers, are trying to keep afloat amidst multiple injuries. With 14 games left, they're tied for the 8th seed in the East. They got the Nuggets tonight at 10 p.m. You can hear that game live here on The Fanatic. We're just 9 days away from opening day for the Phils. We'll keep you updated as they make their roster cuts down in spring training. Team USA has their opponent for the World Baseball Classic final. Venezuela took down Italy 4-2 last night. The final between USA and Venezuela is tonight at 8 p.m. And former Eagle Darius Slay has announced his retirement from football. Fran McCaffrey, head coach of Penn basketball, will join us at 7:30 to talk some tourney. Amy Fadul from 8 to 10. And Jim Salsbury talks Phils with us at 8:05. This update's brought to you by Uber Eats. Philly, you hungry? Good thing Uber Eats has a great deal waiting for you at Coco's Cookies and Creamery. From now till March 31st, get a buy one, get one free deal on a milkshake on the Uber Eats app. Order now, only on Uber Eats. Terms apply. See app for details. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Now back to Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
This hour of Kincade and Salciunas is presented by Bradford White Water Heaters. Bradford White, they're here for the pro.
All right, we're going to get to an Eagles discussion here momentarily, but I can't let this wait, Johnny. We'll check out the Davis Honda text line momentarily. I appreciate all of our sponsorships, man. We got so many good things going on. Check out that Davis difference, man. Davis Honda in Burlington. We have the poll running.
Okay.
And the poll is always strong, thanks to Dr. Abidon Appel and Iron Mountain Men's Health. And I clicked on it and already see where the results are going. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I have not.
Connor, I don't even know if you've
I
seen
didn't even
it
get
yet.
talked about the question today.
Well, Connor told me during the break. I said, sure, go for it. And, man,
What was it?
the results are telling. Go ahead, Connor. It's early. Very early on, but go ahead.
Thanks to Dr. Abidon Appel, it doesn't matter if it's early. Poll is up. After the Bryce Harper not elite argument this offseason, who do you believe will end up being right this year? Obviously, two choices, Dave Dombrowski or Bryce Harper. Early responses, 72% are saying Dave Dombrowski will be right.
I'm shocked.
Make it 73. If I put my vote in. I didn't vote yet, but I'll vote. Dave Dombrowski's going to be right. Because
And
the word is elite.
Yes.
The word's elite. So we're talking about you're not just a good player, you're elite. You're the best of the best. Yeah, I'll put it at 73%.
Right, but I'm shocked because I know how a lot of us operate, right? One, player versus GM, people always side with the player, right? Two, it's Bryce Harper. People love Bryce Harper. Three, people are like done with Dave Dombrowski. Fire Dave has been tweeted a lot. You know, I understand we get emotional and we want everybody fired, but everybody that says the damning things about Dave Dombrowski kind of has a point because it's been a disappointment. I'm shocked that people would not have the faith in Bryce Harper, but this goes back to our topic today, what our relationship will be with him this year. Because, Johnny, for the first time, I've felt the sense, we talked about it at one point last year during the regular season, you know, where we've been talking about the tide shifting on the A.J. Brown front. The tide is shifting in terms of the faith and excitement of Bryce Harper in this city.
Well, I disagree with something you said. You said, like, well, because people love Bryce Harper. Yeah, there's some people who love Bryce Harper. There's a lot of people who do not love Bryce Harper. I like Bryce Harper. I don't love Bryce Harper. Like, I like Bryce Harper. I love Zach Wheeler. I love Christopher Sanchez. I don't love Bryce Harper. I think Bryce Harper comes to that. Bryce Harper is very dramatic.
Did you love him 2 years ago?
I loved his performance. I'm talking about performance in the player. I don't think Bryce Harper's as popular. Like as far as love,
he wears a new Fanatic sweatshirt, and
I think a lot of people
start drooling.
I think people see right through that too. There's just as many
you
people see right
do.
through it.
I don't think a lot of Phillies fans do, man. He got a tattoo with a Fanatic, and people went goo goo gaga out of it, man.
I think there's just as many. I know, like Ricky and Bill, just in afternoons on Unfiltered, both of it that talk about the pandering. Like they totally see through it. It's a constant desire to be liked, to be loved. I don't get it. It's who he is. He likes that. I think he's somebody that to me I don't think he connects well. That's just me. I think other players connect well. I want to connect through your play. Chase Utley is not a person who connects through his personality.
Right.
Chase Utley couldn't have connected with this city any better. Jimmy Rollins is electric and everything, connects with so many ways. I don't feel the same connection to Bryce Harper as to a guy like Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley, or even Ryan Howard for that matter.
Those guys won.
If
Bryce Harper won,
but
if the year he had Bedlam at the bank and they win the World Series.
That was 6 weeks.
Yeah, but
we
if
hated
they won,
that.
it'd be different.
But we hated that team.
Yeah, but that was not a Bryce Harper thing. That was a team thing.
That whole team, midway through September, this city hated it. And then all of a sudden they get hot. They go on a 6-week run. It was amazing.
Because Jimmy Rollins is right.
It was awesome.
If we're being honest.
They went on a run and then boom.
Sports.
Because they were just they weren't a good team that year.
I'm
surprised.
I'm not saying people are wrong in the voting. Because if I would be honest with you, I clicked Dave Dombrowski as well. But I'm surprised that early on, again, very early on in our voting, that Phillies fans are siding with Dave Dombrowski because when he said it, people were angry with Dave Dombrowski. These 6 games in the World Baseball Classic, as much as Kevin Cooney wants to say don't overreact to it, and as much as we agree with Kevin Cooney saying not to overreact to it, there are people overreacting to 6 games of the World Baseball Classic, and he did bring it upon himself by talking about how he can't wait to have Aaron Judge batting behind him in the order, and it hasn't gone well. He's struck out 8 times in 24 at-bats. That's not good, man.
See, I'm not doing the sport. I'm seriously, because we don't do this. I'm not doing the sports talk radio thing with you where I'm just going to be contrary. I disagree with you. I think when Dave Dombrowski made his comments, I think there were many people who agreed with Dave Dombrowski completely. I don't think people were mad at Dave Dombrowski. Like, I didn't get that at all. I didn't get that people were mad at him and were in defense.
Ripped constantly.
No, that was a bad. No, I ripped
that.
him for a bad press conference that you don't say that.
Right.
But I didn't disagree with what he said.
Right, and I think a lot of people felt that way.
I think the fans felt he was saying the truth, but sometimes you don't say the big stuff out loud. You say that quietly. I disagreed with the way he delivered it.
Absolutely.
But his message was completely clear. Bryce Harper has not played like an elite player for a few years now.
Sure. All right, let's check the Davis Honda text line. Feel the Davis difference at Davis Honda in Burlington. Then we'll get into an Eagles discussion that'll also be a part of the show today. But what is your relationship going to be with Bryce Harper throughout the 2026 MLB season? Because even just 6 games of the World Baseball Classic, people are not too happy with Bryce. What do we got?
Timmy and Autobahn still on Bryce's side here. He says on the cleanup comments and excited to have Aaron Judge hit behind him in the World Baseball Classic. Is he wrong? Who have the Phillies had to protect him? The only guy is hitting leadoff. This is a managerial and front office failure. Howie would know what to do.
It's just, but here's the problem. It's not backing it up. That's going to lead
You got
to
to
a
back
lot
it
of
up,
people, right?
Yeah,
Like,
you got to go back it up.
We all acknowledge the fact that it's March.
No questions asked.
Right, and maybe if he had Aaron Judge behind him in June, it's a totally different
Or
talking
162.
point. Or 162
Is there anybody?
games,
Is there anybody who thinks his numbers wouldn't be significantly better with Aaron Judge behind him? If you don't, I don't think you've watched baseball.
But you can't have those comments and then come up small like that.
You're the one. Bryce Harper is the one who couldn't shut up. Bryce Harper's the one who couldn't let things lie with Dave Dombrowski. He's the one with the not elite shirt putting it up. He's the one who put out that social media post. He's the one who had to go and do his media tour. And when you do that, you better put up numbers. You better come out of the box. You better not be the worst, other than Cal Raleigh, as you guys put it. He is the worst player for Team USA at the plate. He's the worst. And he's looked horrendous doing it.
And so if he has a bad March and bad April.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Look.
You put
May,
it on
June,
yourself.
July, you could turn it around. But we're at a point right now. We're at a stage with the Phillies right now where there's a lot of what have you done for me lately, people.
Yes.
There's a lot of wake me up when October comes, people. And there will be Phillies fans. The ones that do watch every single night, like we will watch every single night. But there will be Phillies fans that watch every night seeing where the cracks in the armor are. We do that with every team. Like, this isn't anything new. This isn't anything specific with the Phillies. We did it with the Eagles. When the Eagles won the Super Bowl, for weeks we were being called homers.
Oh no, we got
people were
terrible.
Looking for reasons. The next shoe is going to drop, right?
We were getting called homers the year they went to the Super Bowl, and I told you guys you had plans for the NFC title game. That whole year, I was getting told from summertime.
Pom-pom shaker.
Summertime.
Yeah.
Oh, John, you're one of those pom-pom shakers. Now, sometimes people get it right. Now, look, I get it wrong, too. I also told you I didn't see any way they were losing to the 49ers. So sometimes you get it wrong. I was big idiot on that one. But it's the way it works. I look, do I think Bryce Harper's going to have a good year? Yes.
I do.
Do I think he's going to be elite? One of the elite players in Major League Baseball? No.
All right.
I don't.
Continue to climb in. What will your relationship be with Bryce Harper in the 2026 season? 610-632-0975. All right, another thing we want to open up. So Dominique Foxworth yesterday on Get Up, they were talking about the Eagles. Believe it or not,
I like him a lot.
They talked about A.J. Brown. I do too. I think he's really good. They talked about A.J. Brown. That's not what we're playing here. Here he is talking about a team he has an eye on or eyes on in the NFC East.
I think so, and I would focus in on the Washington Commanders, because if they can get Jaden Daniels back and healthy for a full season, I think that offense will be okay. They were aggressive with how they approached defense this year, and I think we're going to see a much more blitz-happy, big play, turnover-oriented defense, especially since they brought Durante Jones over from the Vikings. He's a Flores disciple, so you're going to see an aggressive defense. They added Owe and Amenahue and Kason edge rushers that can do the similar things that you saw from the Vikings with Grenard and Van Ginkel. So I think this team, my expectations are getting higher and higher for the Washington Commanders as we get close to the season.
And the topic was whether or not the NFC East, the gap was closing. Because the Eagles, even though it wasn't smooth, they ran away with the division this past year.
They were never it was never in doubt.
Yeah, never.
They had 3 teams with losing records behind them. I mean, they went. That's why when anybody tells me, well, the Eagles won the division last year, whoop-de-freaking-do. They would have won the division at 9-8. I mean, it's not an accomplishment. When you win the division and nobody else has a winning record, that's not really something you lead with in your, wow, it was a great year for the Eagles.
Well, do you believe the gap, which is what they were talking about on Get Up, is closing in the NFC East?
Is closing? Do I believe that the Cowboys are going to be better this year? Yes. Do I believe the Giants will be better with Harbaugh? Yes. Do I believe that the Commanders will be better with Jaden Daniels not injured and everything like that? Yes. Do I believe that that means that the gap is closed? Hell no. Because to me, closing the gap means you're a legitimate threat to win the division. And without major injuries putting the Eagles behind the 8 ball, and you can't predict those.
Right.
The Eagles aren't losing this division. So to me,
hey,
if
you say that confidently.
If you're talking about,
you say that very confidently.
I say it very confidently. And by the way, the only team that would make me lose sleep is the Cowboys.
Yeah, the Commanders isn't doing it for me.
The Commanders is not.
I disagree with Dominic Foxworth.
No, I like the Commanders to go. If you're telling me the Commanders go from being a bad team to being a really competitive team, maybe like a 500 team that's really competitive, yes. Giants to like a 7-win team. Yeah. Cowboys, dangerous. Cowboys are going to be a winning team next year.
That's the team that I have eyes on that I go, uh-oh.
Cowboys are going to be a winning team next year. Are the Cowboys going to beat out the Eagles in the NFC East? Hell no.
Hey, you say hell no.
Hell
I love
no.
that confidence.
I can't say that today.
I don't either.
Okay,
I'm not dropping a hell no on this St. Patrick's Day,
There will be room on the bus for you. Again, I will leave seats on the bus for you.
You're
And when
driving
you
a lot of
decide
empty
to join,
buses these days.
Well, yeah, because you guys joined the bus late.
All right, coming up next, you can answer that question as well. Do you believe the gap is closing in the NFC East? That means it's going to come down to the wire, and there's a chance that the Eagles don't win it this year.
Yeah, that's what that would mean. Right?
Yeah.
That's what that would mean.
Their 2-season streak could come to an end.
Week 17 means something.
Right, absolutely. 610-632-0975. Also, we started the show talking Phillies. We've not mentioned the 3rd suspension in less than a year. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
The Sixers can't avoid. of Kincade and Salciunas coming your way now.
Well, I can tell you that Barry Bonds' home run record is safe for now because of a suspension that went down in Major League Baseball yesterday. Johan Rojas suspended 80 games because he got pinched for PED use. If you remember a couple weeks ago, it was reported that he was being eliminated from playing in the World Baseball Classic. And we were wondering, what is it? Because their rules are different, right? We were wondering, was he taken out of the World Baseball Classic because of PED use, or was he doing other drugs?
Correct.
Paul George, he wasn't suspended because of PED use. He was suspended because of negligence for whatever he was taking.
Well, he's going to tell us that, of course, when he comes back, right?
Yeah, March 25th, hopefully.
He's going to tell us in a press conference, hopefully, and
Maybe.
explain to us why he screwed over his team?
Maybe.
Okay.
Well, Johan Rojas suspended 80 games, ineligible for the playoffs. That sucks. Because
They wanted to put him on the roster last year.
my man was taking Boldenone.
Okay, wasn't that one of the people in your Lord of the Rings books, or in your? Isn't he one of the villains in your books?
Well, all I can tell you is it's a synthetic anabolic androgenic steroid.
Yeah, this ain't the weight loss, John. This is actually I want to hit home runs type stuff.
Yeah, it's used for horses. And Johan Rojas and his team tried appealing the suspension. I don't know how you can appeal taking things that bodybuilders use that are for horses.
By the way, can I tell you how dangerous this stuff is?
Oh, I'm sure it's horrible.
As a 3-time cancer survivor who didn't take anything for horses, how dangerous this stuff is for if you just spend 10 minutes of research on the amount of people that end up getting cancer later on in life from this stuff.
Oh, I have the side effects right in front of me. Potential for damage and high blood pressure.
Okay.
Severe acne, hair loss, reduced sexual function, testicular atrophy, increased aggression and high anxiety, and potential for liver and renal damage.
Yeah, it's great. That's the kind of stuff you want to hear.
By the way, it's banned in sports, so it's not like this was I took
I
something.
made a mistake.
No. It literally is banned from professional sports, and Johan Rojas tried getting it by.
Why is he wanting to hit home runs?
Dude, I don't know.
Because honestly, right? Like, wouldn't you think that that's sort of what
Yeah, I would think so.
what he's trying to do? Why is he trying to worry about adding power to his game? That doesn't, to me, seem like what the Phillies would even have been telling him. Hey, if you could do this,
He should worry about swinging at strikes.
that's what I'd worry about. But there's a lot of guys in the Phillies lineup. that
That's
could
true. Yeah,
use that.
fair enough. Fair
Yes.
enough.
If swinging at strikes is the thing, there's at least 3 guys in the Phillies lineup that are still here.
Yeah, but I don't think steroids helps that.
Yeah, I don't think it does either.
So Johan Rojas suspended 80 games. He wasn't really going to be a big part of this team, like, at all.
Wow.
And this is a guy. John and I were talking about it during the break. Like, did they just get rid of him after this? Like, what's the future of Johan Rojas?
Did you see the press release, folks? The press release from the Phillies was like 3 lines.
Yeah, in size 6 font, by the way.
They did not give him any. Like, there was no, we're in full support of this young player, and we want to make sure that
we respect the decision by Major League Baseball.
It was
period.
just like, we're done.
That's basically
it's like, we're
what
done.
it was.
We're done with him. I would expect that that's the last you're ever going to see him representing the organization. Would be my guess.
There's just no point at the now.
Like, what do you do?
Right? There's no point. But it also leads to a whole other question. Like, that's now 3
in a year,
in less than a year, in less than 365
most
days
in Major League Baseball.
Jose, and I'm to make it clear, we're not saying that the Phillies are like trying to sneak things by, but there's something up. Where,
well, there can be a culture. There can be a culture when a team gets hit that often. You can say within the culture, maybe somebody's going, "Hey, this is what I did. This is what I did," and then they're getting caught.
Yeah,
they're getting caught.
Alvarado with the weight loss, Max Kepler.
Well, Max Kepler.
That month of August, man.
Man, that really works.
We'll always have that month of August with Max Kepler. Connor, your thoughts on the juicing problem going down in the Phillies clubhouse?
Can we get some of the good players to do it so at least we win some games because of it? Like, I mean, this is – I don't know that you can say it's coincidental with 3 guys in a year, but I don't think they have, like, a problem with it. It's just wild where that's gone.
Yeah, I don't think it's the set of The Wire.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
but I think that it's
There's no, like, gym bag being hidden in the Phillies clubhouse right now. Like,
exactly.
Look, the most egregious one was Alvarado because he literally – is out of the playoffs because of it. And it's why I still, to this day, have no idea why people gave him a standing ovation when he returned.
And by the way, again, the one thing that bothers me, though, and I will say it bothers me, is Major League Baseball doesn't ban the weight loss drugs. So the weight loss drug story isn't true because Major League Baseball doesn't ban the weight loss drugs. So if you want to go through a doctor, go through a doctor's care and get the weight loss drugs, you can get the weight loss drugs and work with the doctor and do that. So I don't believe for 1 second that, he's just trying to lose weight.
Well,
that's all he's trying to do. A lot of
people
exactly. That story doesn't make any sense because all you have to do is go to a doctor. The doctor gives you the weight loss drug and do it with the doctor's care. And it's done.
Is the season over now that Johan Rojas will not be eligible for the Phillies for 80 games?
No, it's only over because Bryce Harper hasn't been good in the World Baseball Classic.
I'm disappointed, though, in because I always saw greater potential than other people saw, and I always thought Rojas could have been much more. I really did, and just I'm disappointed that to me this makes no sense. This is such a dopey move.
Probably thinks he needed to provide
power.
I guess
that was what was keeping him out of the Phillies lineup. Please.
Well, in the Phillies lineup might actually be.
Well,
What do they need? Right-handed pop?
But I don't think they were. But I don't think anybody in the Phillies organization was saying, "Him, look, dude."
By the way, wait. I saw a great tweet yesterday. I got to find it, but it was off of the Johan Rojas suspension, and I want to give the guy proper credit. But basically, they said that they can't wait for Dave Dombrowski to drop this was like a trade deadline acquisition when he comes back from his suspension.
Oh, yeah, that'll be
that's coming.
Oh, he says stuff like
Dave Dombrowski at some point is going to drop don't forget Johan Rojas is coming back.
You guys have forgotten about that.
People forget that we have Johan Rojas on the lineup. All right. Coming up next, we got a busy start to the 7 o'clock hour, ladies and gentlemen.
It's good.
Reset. Check the Davis Honda text line. The Eagles were targeting a specific position in free agency this past weekend, Johnny. And your chance to earn a spot in Knockout will tell you how you can win today. Busy 7 o'clock hour ahead here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Regular season's rounding down. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Sixers and Flyers are getting set for the home stretch of their regular seasons as we've crossed the halfway point of the month of March. For the Flyers, it'd be a welcome surprise to find a playoff berth. They've still got the rebuild ongoing. Flyers president Keith Jones joined us yesterday. He talked about a couple of things with the Flyers, including his assessment of first-year head coach Rick Tocchet.
I think Rick has done a really good job of trying to implement his defense style of coaching, and with a group of players that in some cases are very young. Obviously, there's going to be bumps along the way in that process. I'm quite pleased with Rick. I look forward to seeing what happens in the future.
Flyers are off tonight. They'll host the Ducks tomorrow. For the Sixers, they're trying to stay afloat amidst multiple big-time injuries. With 14 games left, they're tied for the 8th seed in the East. They've got the Nuggets tonight at 10 p.m. You can hear that game live here on the Fanatic. We're just 9 days away from opening day for the Phils. We'll keep you updated as they make their roster cutdowns in spring training. As we were just talking about, Johan Rojas suspended 80 games by Major League Baseball for PED use. He becomes the third Philly in a year to go on the PED list. Team USA has their opponent for the World Baseball Classic final. Venezuela beat Italy 4-2. The finals tonight at 8 p.m. And Darius Slay has announced his retirement from football. We'll talk to Penn head basketball coach Fran McCaffrey coming up at 7:30. This update's brought to you by the Hartford Auto Insurance. Drivers 50 and over can count on the Hartford Auto Insurance for protection that brings peace of mind. The Hartford, your protection is their passion. Provided by the Hartford Insurance Group, Incorporated. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
sports talk. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
It is 7 a.m. on this Tuesday morning here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic. Coming up later this segment, we will tell you how you can win a spot in Knockout, pair of tickets to the Sixers game against the Bulls March 25th at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. Get your single game tickets at Sixers.com. I cannot wait for this one. In honor of some current events, I'm very excited for this trivia question game. It's going to be fun. So that happens later on this segment. But before we do all that, here's what we've talked about so far this morning. Bryce Harper. What is your relationship going to be with him going into the 2026 season for the Phillies? Because for the first time, it feels like Bryce Harper is not untouchable. Forget the not elite comments by Dave Dombrowski. It feels like for the first time he's not untouchable because Bryce Harper was a guy for a lot of people that it was, all right, he's not to blame. Let's look at the other reasons why they're to blame. Let's blame the 9-hole hitter, Johan Rojas, because that was a thing that happened in this city. Let's blame the 8-hole hitter, the 7-hole hitter, and not Bryce Harper, who has come up small in moments. Bryce Harper has also had some of the most incredible moments, and the signing has 100% been worth it, right? I know there were some people before the signing that weren't thrilled about it.
It's completely worth it, especially now as you've seen the way contracts have gone in Major League Baseball. Completely worth it.
And it also changed the culture of the Phillies. It went from no winning to winning.
It's been if anyone's going to argue that the contract's not worth it,
it's been great. And so there was time where Bryce Harper could do no wrong. And for the first time, it feels like Bryce Harper can do wrong. Now, is it because of his play and he's played 14 years in Major League Baseball, he's entering year 15? Is it because of what he himself has said? Is it because of what people around him have said? Is it just you using your own eyes? I don't know. Like, I love Bryce Harper, right? But even when he couldn't be touched, you and I would point out the not busting it down the first baseline, but then he would bust it trying to stretch a single into a double and getting thrown out. And it was, well, you can't expect him to hustle all the time. That's weird. Like, why are we not holding him to a certain standard?
I've had that argument with our own Dylan McKinnon. And,
yes.
And I love Dylan's baseball passion and energy for it and everything. But I've had that argument with Dylan before, is that, like, well, you can't expect him to bust it every single time. I'm like, that's just...
I get a grounder back to the pitcher.
It's ridiculous.
But like a backhander for the third baseman, like, come on, man.
But here's what I ask you is, and Connor, I'd love your answer on this one too, is that when you say, you've said it 3 times today. I don't even know. I love Bryce Harper. Okay, you've said that.
Yes.
When you say that, are you talking about Bryce Harper, just his skill set, or are you talking about Bryce Harper, the complete package?
The complete package. The base running drives me nuts. I'll be honest.
I'm not with you on the like to me, I am thrilled that he came here, and I am glad that he's still a Philadelphia Philly, and I would not want to see him moved on. Right. Sure. I'm in that camp. He has not endeared himself to me like Philadelphia athletes have in my lifetime when I look at the major organizations. He has not endeared himself to me the way that others have. So I don't have that same – he hasn't had that same ability to do that with me. And it's just interesting. What is it you love so much about him?
Well –
if you're not talking about his abilities, we're all going to agree on. We all love his abilities.
Right.
We all love the skill set that he brought. If you take that out of it, what is it you love so much about him?
I feel like up until right now, right, and this is why 2026 is such an important season, he's backed up everything, right? Like, he is backed up wanting to win here. He's been the Bryce Harper, the GM. He has gone out there and he's done everything he could. He's come back early from injuries, which is something
that is something I'm always going to admire
in Philadelphia.
I'm always going to admire that.
And came back and played well. Like, it's not like he just came back early from injury and sucked. Like, he came back from injury.
I mean, 2 weeks early, 3 weeks early. I mean, he is either a fast healer or a guy who is willing to play through it and get back to help his teammates.
Yeah.
Always will admire that.
Look, do I believe he signed here because of the dollars? Yes. I absolutely believe he signed here because of the dollars.
He did.
I don't think he just loved the Philadelphia area so much that he wanted to come here. I do believe the dollars is what ultimately got him here. But I do believe he has backed up everything. The only thing that's missing is the World Series ring. And is that all on him? No, because I've had numerous issues with the construction of this lineup over the years, which has been a problem for this Phillies team. But he has come up small in some pretty big moments.
He has. I mean, I personally look at that Mets series, and I'm not going to look at him for that Mets series and say Bryce Harper's like even in my top 5 villains of that Mets series. So when I hear people mention his playoff failures, I'm like, look, I'll look at that Arizona series and say Game 6, Game 7, he came up small multiple times at home.
Yeah.
Big opportunity. The next, but the Mets series, I'm not going to get on him about.
No, it was him and Castellanos were the only two that showed up.
Pathetic.
Yeah,
last year was
this
terrible.
series against the Dodgers wasn't good, and you can make all the excuses in the world that you want about no protection in the order, and I agree. That's the thing. Like, there are some things that I don't disagree with what Bryce Harper is saying. It's just the way you go about it. There's got to be a better way to go about it, and then you can't lead to the Aaron Judge comments of, I can't wait to have Aaron Judge hitting behind me, and then you having a bad World Baseball Classic. Kevin Cooney, we played the audio for you in the 6 o'clock hour. He was getting after it with some people yesterday, talking about people overreacting to his 6 games in the World Baseball Classic. Kevin Cooney spot on, but who brought this upon that?
Correct.
Bryce Harper did.
Yeah, but you know what this is like? This is like sitting down at the Thanksgiving table and being like, can't we just get through tonight without fighting over something? Like, maybe the argument was brought on by Bryce Harper, but it's the World Baseball Classic. You're going to have plenty of time in April to yell at him about how he's playing.
Right, I think people are overreacting now, but if this
we
continues...
all, by the way, we all, just to be clear, we all 3 are on the same boat with that. I think if you are if you're making any kind of judgments on Bryce Harper based on, how many games has it been, 5 or 6?
6.
6. On 6 games. I'm not going to call you names, but I'm going to say that is an idiotic take.
Yeah.
When you know his body of work, that's an idiotic take. But if you cannot agree that there's been decline,
Which there has been.
then I will also say you're sticking your head in the sand.
And a lot of it could be father time.
It could very well be
Played
because
a lot of
he's
baseball,
older.
man.
Yeah, so.
Like, 32 years old doesn't sound old, but when he's been in the league since he was 19, and 19 he played 139 games. It's not like he came into the league at 19, played the last 10 games of the season, and then his age 20 season was his rookie year. This dude's played a lot of baseball over the years, and they have done numerous things to try to further his career, like moving him to first base. Eventually, he's going to be a DH, but that might not be for another couple of years because you got Kyle Schwarber there right now. So it's going to be interesting to see how people go about their relationship with Bryce Harper. You know that on opening day, when Dan Baker's doing the introductions, he will get one of the loudest ovations. It will happen, and he should. He deserves that. But if week 1, week 2, week 3 of the season, he's struggling a little bit, is he still getting the same crowd pop whenever his name's announced? I don't know.
I think there's a lot of fatigue when it comes to him. That there's a fatigue of, okay, now like put up. And I don't think I think Dave Dombrowski had a bad offseason. I think he's had a bad offseason.
Yeah, I think back and forth it's been childish.
The best thing in the world for him would have been to shut his mouth and just ignore what Dave Dombrowski said and then prove that Dave Dombrowski was wrong. Instead, he puts all the pressure on himself. And what have we seen out of the Phillies and Bryce Harper and his leadership? It's that they haven't dealt well with pressure. In October, they don't deal well with pressure.
No,
we'll
it's gotten tighter and tighter and tighter, and Alec Boehm pretty much said as much.
Can't get a piece of 2-ply between the cheeks.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way. Not very. They don't deal with pressure well. So I don't think this is going to be one of those years where we go, wow, he's a man. That's the MVP Bryce Harper from 3 years ago. That's back.
Could we see All-Star Bryce?
Yes, yes, absolutely. You could. And I think anybody who doubts that guy is still in there,
right,
is crazy. Like, to me, it's the extremes of this discussion that bother me. It's the people that take it to
that's sports, baby.
But the thing is, though, it is sports, but it's rarely sports when you're talking about somebody of his caliber. I think it's disrespectful. It's like Bryce Harper's done enough.
But then there's still people that say he does no wrong, which is also wrong.
No. That's disrespectful to my brain.
Right.
When people are like that, like when people say he doesn't have to run out ground balls all the time because he hustles at other times. I'm like, I don't need to hear that either. That's disrespectful to me too. But it's the idea of Bryce Harper's done a lot for this franchise and everything. And by the way, he's been worth, to me, every penny.
Yeah, it's similar to the A.J. thing, right? Like, Andrew and I are both willing to overlook the A.J. Brown faults from this past year and say, hey, we're happy to have him back. And you're more pushback on that, John.
Yeah, I'm not like unless I knew he was going to change the behaviors. No,
But that's A.J. Brown, who's he's been a really good wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles.
He has been.
He's in the top 5 to 7 in football, probably still. Bryce Harper is the best position player I've ever seen put on a Phillies jersey in my lifetime. That gets you a lot of leeway with me.
Yeah, for you. A lot of people don't have that.
For me.
A lot of people aren't doing
Yeah.
that leeway anymore, man. They just aren't. All right, you can text the Davis Honda text line. All right, feel the Davis difference at Davis Honda in Burlington at 610-632-0975. What will the relationship be with Phillies fans and Bryce Harper in 2026? What do we got on the text line, Connor?
This texter checks in, says, I don't like Harper at all right now. He has complained like a kid all offseason. If he would have just agreed with Dave Dombrowski or handled it differently, I would still like him. I won't like him until he backs it up with his play. I don't even want to wear a Harper jersey to the stadium this year. That's how I feel about him.
I think there's going to be a lot. I think there's a lot more people like that out there than
Probably.
anybody would want to think because
It's strong hearing it.
he acted like a bitch boy. He did. He really did.
That's a bit much.
He did. Come on. The T-shirt, the podcast tour. Come on.
Yeah, do a podcast.
I
Don't
think
do it on
Bitch
one
Boy's a
podcast.
He got
little
compared
strong,
to
dude.
he got compared to Freddie Freeman, and he found that offensive. That's hilarious. That is absolute high humor. High humor. Absolute humor. Because there's one guy who I think comparing the resumes, I think that Freddie would take his resume over Harper's. Clearly. And that's don't be offended by everything. Listen to the whole soundbite and then be like, yeah, I'm going to do better. I'm going to show everybody.
Yeah, I just think Bitch Boy's a little.
I thought it was too much. Is it too much?
All right, what else we got?
All right, we also have a check-in here on the conversation about the cleanup hitter, and this texter thinks Alec Boehm should wear 99 the first game to see if Bryce feels more comfortable with it behind him.
I mean, look, we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. Anytime he hits a home run, it's all over social media. Oh, it's just a breakout season for Alec Boehm. No, spoiler alert, it's not. Like we did this with Vince Velasquez.
Could be the number, though.
I don't think it's.
Tylan Walker would have to give it up, though. There already is a 99.
That's
so.
right. All right. Not only are we talking Phillies, we also have the Eagles question for you today. Do you believe the gap is closing in the NFC East? Dominique Foxworth believes that the Commanders are getting closer. You and I both agree that it's not the Commanders to worry about. We're more worried about the Cowboys.
Absolutely.
But you say. What was the word that you used?
Hell no.
Hell no. That
No, when you talk about now, to me, maybe though I'm getting it now. One of my buddies texts me and says he thinks that he disagrees with me completely. He says the gap being closed doesn't mean that somebody else is going to win the division. And I said, okay, what I said is that somebody else has to be a severe threat to win the division. I had said it is week 17, there could be a Sunday night football game where Eagles have to win the division.
right.
Like that's it. I'm not saying somebody has to win the division. I'm saying that somebody has to be. It goes down to week 17, and I don't see that happening. The Eagles are going to get the trifecta. The only way that's not happening is major injury. That's my opinion on it, and I feel like really terra firma on that one. Like absolutely solid ground.
By the way,
cement.
We haven't done this, and it's not W's and L's season just yet. Or that's coming. Johnny, I can't wait for W's and L's day.
My throat. I got a little thing going on in my throat.
The Cowboys have a pretty difficult
They do. It's nasty.
schedule this
Their
year.
schedule's nasty.
Obviously, the division, right?
Right.
They play the Jags at home, the Ravens at home, the Niners at home, the Bucks at home. They also have the Cardinals and Titans. On the road, division, but also the Packers, Texans, Colts, Seahawks, Rams.
That's a brutal schedule.
That's
now,
dude,
and,
that's
and the
not
Eagles
easy,
and the Eagles
man.
get and because of the way the schedule breaks, the Eagles get the Rams and Seahawks at home.
Yes.
That,
Cowboys going on the road,
that's a
Seattle
completely
and LA.
different. That's a completely.
tough,
It's a
dude.
completely different schedule. I mean, like what the Eagles have. The Rams come here. The Seahawks come here. The Texans come here.
Right.
I don't know anybody else you're really worried about. Are you worried about the Colts? Colts come here.
This is our Colts.
Eagles have to go to San Francisco. Eagles have to go to Chicago. Eagles have to go to Jacksonville. So, I mean, other than that, you're not really They're not really sweating. And by the way, Jacksonville, there's a really good chance that's going to be in London.
Yeah, definitely.
So San Francisco and Chicago look like the two teams.
Well,
two trips.
What do the Eagles do? Because they need players to fill positions. Believe it or not, they have to sign some guys. It's been relatively quiet. We at least know that Dallas Goedert is back on that $7 million deal. Jeremy Fowler on Get Up yesterday. Take a listen to what he says about Dallas Goedert and sort of what he heard leading up to the signing, and then listen to what he says at the very end.
Dallas Goedert is back for a 9th season with the Eagles, a one-year deal worth $7 million, $4.25 million signing bonus. This is big for quarterback Jalen Hurts because Goedert had a career-high 11 touchdowns last season. The Eagles wanted to get this done, spent the last few days trying to knock it out, and they might not be done, Peter. They were looking for wide receiver help in free agency over the weekend.
Now, why would they be looking for wide receiver help? Now, we could first start by saying Jahan Dotson, they lost him. All right, he goes to Atlanta, so they need to fill that spot, losing Jahan Dotson. But it is easy to assume that if everybody is kumbaya and everybody's happy, that you would draft a wide receiver for very cheap because you have a lot of money allocated to the offense and a lot of money that's already being allocated and soon will be to the defense. And so one of the big questions is, all right, why would they look for a wide receiver? Do they believe that A.J. Brown will not be here? Now, look, wide receiver could be a guy that's making pennies. Wide receiver could also mean a Jawan Jennings, who we talked about yesterday, that's going to get more than pennies. Somebody sent me his expected valued contract. I think it was 3 years for $26 million, something like that. He's a player that I'm interested in regardless of A.J. Brown's status. I just don't know how you would be able to afford paying Jawan Jennings with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
You wouldn't be able to.
Not going to happen.
Not happening because you have other things you're going to do. And by the way, those updates, the extensions on the defensive side of the ball, the extension's coming. The Jalen Carter extension's coming too at some point here. So you got to have that money too. You got to worry about that money and maneuvering that around. They're not getting it. I'd love it. I'd love it.
By the way, just to clarify, it's 3 years, 22 per. So it would be 3 years, $67 million. That's what's being expected for Jawan Jennings. Christian Kirk, he signed with the team yesterday. So with San Francisco. So
wait a minute. So they got. I did not see that.
Well, they're not bringing back Jawan Jennings, so they're
but
signing
I missed
Christian
that one.
Kirk. Yeah,
I really
he went
like
to San Francisco.
I like their wide receiver room, but I do wonder about Mike Evans out there next to the electrical substation.
Yeah, that doesn't move the needle for me, the Christian Kirk thing at all.
He's a solid player. Yeah, he's a guy. He got overpaid by Jacksonville years ago. Oh, way overpaid.
Because he played next to DeAndre Hopkins in his prime in Arizona.
Right, exactly. But why would they be looking at a wide receiver? Well, they need to, first and foremost. But again, if A.J. Brown is here, you're probably drafting a wide receiver. You're probably not
you are.
making calls in free agency. So that was an interesting little nugget added by Jeremy Fowler there. All right, we'll get back to our text line as the show continues, 610-632-0975. But I want to tell you how you can get your spot in Knockout today. I have trivia questions for you on people suspended for PED use.
Oh, boy.
In Major League Baseball history. In honor of Johan Rojas, who was trying to break Barry Bonds' home run record by taking whatever horse pill or whatever the hell he was taking, Boldenone, Boldenone, whatever the hell he was taking, because he wants to try to swing for power.
It's a Harry Potter villain, I think it
probably is. I have trivia questions based off of PED use. So the first one is actually going to be the question. It's not just the example, so bite your tongues, you two, but it's probably the easiest one to get. All right?
Okay.
This guy was suspended for over 200 games for PED use back in 2013. He is a 3-time MVP.
Oh, wow, that's easy.
All right? 3-time MVP, suspended for over 200 games. It came out during the 2013 season. Who is it? If you believe you have the answer, text it to 610-632-0975. I imagine that you guys already have that answer, but text it in 610-632-0975. after we go through this one, they'll probably be a little bit more difficult, but I figure I'd start with a cupcake for the people.
Yeah, it's a cupcake, too. If you're taking horse pills, you're probably hungry. So a cupcake could be good.
I would imagine so. Johan Rojas.
I can't.
80-game
I'm
suspension.
so disappointed.
He only came up 700 and change short. He almost had the record.
Yeah. How many home runs did he finish with?
Yeah, I don't know. He might be.
I want to say less than 13.
Do you think he's finished in the major leagues?
Yeah.
You think he never plays a game in the major leagues again?
Yeah.
What's the point of having him? You know what I mean? Like he can't hit well.
There are a lot of bad teams in the major leagues.
Yeah.
I have a feeling.
And you've called the Phillies outfield the worst in baseball, and he can't find a way into it.
That's a indictment on the Phillies.
By the way, 6 total home runs in the career
less than 13.
of Johan Rojas.
That's an indictment on the Phillies.
He had a power surge in 2024. He had 3 home runs on the season in 2024.
Woo!
It was a big jump in production.
Silver Slugger year.
Spectacular defense. Couldn't hit a lick.
All right.
Couldn't hit a lick.
Coming up next, it is March. Wrong song, man. It is March.
What?
Thank you.
Oh, jeez.
What? It's exciting, dude. The tournament. We have a team to watch Thursday night, and we get to speak to the very decorated head coach of that squad next. It is Kincade Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, if you're engagement ring shopping, I want you to check out the bridal collection from my friends at Benari Jewelers. Benari Jewelers has 2 great showrooms for you, Newtown Square and Exton. They're both awesome, and both of them are going to offer you their 110% diamond upgrade guarantee on all natural diamonds. What's that mean? Well, that diamond you bought for $10,000, I'm just doing easy math for you, is worth $11,000 towards a new diamond if you ever want to upgrade it. That means Benari Jewelers is selling you something, and they're saying, we stand behind the purchase immediately. They're going to pay you more than you paid them for the same diamond when you choose to upgrade it at a later time. That's peace of mind. That's a company that believes in its products, and it honors their customers. So let's say you're engagement ring shopping. You don't want to get distracted by the latest fads, and you don't want to go to the mall, and you don't want to buy off the internet. Trust the experts at Benari to lead you through the process. You're going to get a beautiful diamond. You're going to get a beautiful ring, and she is going to love the relationship that you two build and the one you guys build with Benari. Benari Jewelers, Exton in Newtown Square, online at BenariJewelers.com.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
2 playoff pushes. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Sixers and Flyers are getting ready for the home stretch of their regular seasons as we hit late March. For the Flyers, it would be a welcome surprise to find a playoff berth. They're still in the midst of a rebuild. Flyers president Keith Jones joined us yesterday, and he talked about what he's liked the most about the work that he's done during that rebuild.
One of the things I'm really happy about is we are alleviating a lot of the cap pressure that we had in the past. All of that money is starting to come off the book. That was one of the objectives when Danny and I took over.
More of a look to the future, but the Flyers still have a chance to make the postseason this year. They're off tonight. They'll host the Ducks tomorrow. The Sixers, they're just trying to keep afloat with all the injuries they've got. 14 games left. They're tied for the 8th seed in the East. They've got the Nuggets tonight at 10 p.m. You can hear that game live here on The Fanatic. We're just 9 days away from opening day for the Phillies, so we'll keep you updated as they make their roster cut downs in spring training. Johan Rojas will not be on the team to start the season. He got an 80-game PED suspension yesterday from Major League Baseball. Team USA has their opponent for the World Baseball Classic final. Venezuela defeated Italy 4-2. The final is tonight at 8 p.m. between USA and Venezuela. And Darius Slay has announced his retirement from football. Coming up next, Penn men's basketball head coach Fran McCaffrey joins the show. This update's brought to you by the Mine Safety and Health Administration. The Mine Safety and Health Administration reminds you that mining accidents and injuries are preventable. Staying alert and focused can keep you safe. Take time, save lives. Visit msha.gov. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
Temple made, but for some reason, trust this Washington College guy to produce. Charity comes in many forms. Kincade Salciunas is back from the break. I wonder what they're going to get into.
7 a.m. hour is brought to you by the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app. Live bet sports on the BetParks app. Play all your favorite casino games. There's always another way to win on the BetParks online casino and sportsbook. Got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It is 7:30 here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic, and it is March, Johnny. March 17th, we get to watch tournament time this week. The playing games begin today and tomorrow, and then obviously the madness of March begins Thursday, and we get to watch a team Thursday night represent the city of Philadelphia. How about not taking just one, but five? Five different teams to the NCAA tournament. That is what Fran McCaffrey has been able to accomplish. Yeah, just five.
Just five.
But he wanted to save his alma mater for number 5. The head coach of Penn basketball, Fran McCaffrey, joins us here on Kincade and Salciunas. Fran, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming on. First and foremost, congratulations to you and to your team. And thank you, because it's been some time. It's been 3 seasons since we've seen any of the Big 5 schools represent Philadelphia in the March Madness tournament. So if you could speak on that, just representing Big 5 basketball in March.
Well, there's no better feeling. The goal is always getting to the NCAA tournament. Now, obviously, you want to make some noise when you get there. But growing up in this city, I know what it means. I know why you asked me the question. You know, there was sort of an expectation that every year there'd be a bunch of us. And as you know, it's getting harder and harder. It's changed quite a bit, the landscape of college basketball. And you know, we've had some success this year in the city. I mean, Kevin's done a fabulous job. And I knew that would happen because I coached against him when I was at Siena. He was at Iona, when he was at Seton Hall, and I was at Iowa. So I've known him a long time. Stevie D, I mean, I knew he would do a great job there in the NIT, wishing them the best. Coach of the Year in the Atlantic 10. And here we are with our team. And the rest of the teams, I think, have great optimism looking forward. But right now, we're just looking at Thursday night. We've practiced at 10 today. And this team has been absolutely special, guys, which you would imagine accomplishing what we did, starting the season 2-4, winning 9 of our last 10 games, right on through the weekend, which was clearly amazing. But the maturity that this team has is what was necessary. You know, with a new coach, a new system, just buying into us, buying into each other, figuring out with the addition of our freshman class and our transfers and who we had back. And in today's NIL world, we didn't have a lot of turnover. We only had one guy leave. You know, a lot of time you look at what Darius walked into, I think he needed to sign 11 guys. That's not easy to put a team together like that. So our guys stayed locked in. They stayed true to their decision to come to Penn originally, and I'm really glad they did.
Coach, you know, the coaches have always had the ability to move around in college basketball. Now players have the ability to move around frequently. It's got to be a much more challenging job to try to keep some sort of continuity, and that continuity has obviously paid off for you. Talk about how the job has changed from when you started your career to the job you have today.
Well, the first thing I can say is nobody ever expected it to get to this point. I think you had to look and see that there were going to be more benefits given to the players, more opportunity, more options. I think the whole transfer thing, originally, guys, it was supposed to be a one-time transfer exception. It wasn't supposed to be total free agency. That's where the NCAA made a mistake. So, you know, you'll be watching a game and, there's so-and-so's at his 4th school. He's at his 5th school. What are we doing? That makes no sense. The fact that the NCAA tournament became a multi-billion-dollar event and Power 5 conferences were signing multi-billion-dollar TV contracts, and the only people that weren't getting compensated were the players. So you knew that was going to change. And people will say, I hate NIL. NIL is going away. No, NIL is not going away, because how do we know that? The Supreme Court voted 9-0 in favor of NIL. the thing is, NIL stands for name, image, and likeness. The players were supposed to be compensated for their name, image, and likeness. It wasn't supposed to ultimately be pay for play, and that's what it is. And that's what the NCAA settlement decided back in the spring. This year the number was $20.5 million. So essentially the players are getting salaries now. Now, not in the Ivy League. Our guys don't even get athletic scholarships. So we're a need-based institution. They have the option to get NIL on their own, but they're not part of the settlement, which means they're not going to be getting compensated with a salary. So what does that mean? That means all the players have agents, and you're negotiating with your own players year in and year out to renew your roster. So it's a much more business-like transactional situation than we ever imagined. And some teams do a really good job with it. I will tell you that Kevin Willard has done a masterful job. We always say, oh, that team has money, they're going to sign some guys. Well, there's a lot of teams with money that sign guys and their team stinks because they signed the wrong guys. The key is to sign the right players that understand and prioritize winning, that legitimately care about the guy that lines up next to them, that listens to their coach and not their agent. And that's the new world.
Well, Coach McCaffrey joining us here on Kincade Salciunas, coach of Penn Quakers men's basketball. You have the game Thursday night. One player that you were able to acquire through the transfer portal had a stop at Duke, had a stop at Virginia, and then dropped 44 points for you in the championship game the other day. TJ Power, I was able to see him twice in person this year. Kid's got some game. Can you speak on TJ Power and how much it's a benefit that he's played at some top programs like Duke and Virginia before making his way over to Penn?
I think the most mature thing that he realized, and he speaks very eloquently about, is, I went to Duke and I went to Virginia, and it didn't work out like I hoped, but I learned. I paid attention. I practiced against guys that are in the pros, and I saw a difficult situation when my coach retires and what that meant. He's been through a lot, and he brought those experiences with him. He knew the talent was there. This kid was a 5-star recruit. I went to every game that he played in the spring and summer before his senior year. I started recruiting him as a sophomore in high school. I knew how great he was, and he believed in me enough to come here to play for me at Penn. And I'm so proud of him and so happy that he did, because not only is he a phenomenal basketball player, he's an even better person. And coaches say that sometimes, but I will tell you, everybody in that locker room loves him. Everybody appreciates his leadership. The performance that he had on Sunday, I've not, and I've had some great ones. Okay, I've had the National Player of the Year. I've had the 4th pick in the draft. I've coached lottery picks. I've had multiple Players of the Year. That performance, because not only did he have 44 guys, he had 14 rebounds, and he got one in traffic at the end of the game to ice the game. Of course, he made the 3 to put it into overtime. So. Just a special person who has impacted our program in a huge way. And the minute he said yes, I knew this was going to happen.
Well, that's awesome. Coach, look, good luck on Thursday. We're rooting for you. Go Quakers, and thank you for representing the Big Five. It's exciting to see a couple teams in the tournament this year.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate you.
You're the man. There he is, Coach Fran McCaffrey of the Penn Quakers basketball team. Yeah, TJ Powers is a stud. TJ Powers. I had the knockout event earlier this year, and then I saw another. I randomly went with one of my buddies and watched a Penn game, and
He's
dude's a tank.
I mean, he played for Duke and Virginia, right? And so he's got game, right? And then he comes to Penn and 44 points in the championship.
He cares
game.
about the academics.
Yeah, absolutely.
He really did, and boy, he's a really fantastic player.
Yeah. By the way, congratulations to Mike Bowfinger, who is our first qualifier.
Bowfinger.
I know what you're talking about. Goldfinger. Yeah.
There you go.
We are doing trivia questions on players who have been suspended for PED use today. I know Amy Fadul is ready to go for that one.
Amy could have used them last week for her voice.
The answer was A-Rod, over 200 games suspended when he got pinched in 2013. Here's your next one.
He got injected, actually.
Good point.
That's all right.
All right, this player was also suspended in 2013. It was a big year for suspensions and PED use in 2013. This player was suspended in 2013 for over 100 games. Your clue, he said he was 17, but he was actually 19.
Yep.
Text in the answer you believe is correct to 610-632-0975.
I want to just give a shout out to one of our listeners today.
Oh, please.
Stephanie Schlexler.
Hello,
Schlexer is she is going to be on today's edition of The Price is Right. She went out after I did. So her episode taped after mine.
Wait, you were on The Price is Right?
And today her episode airs.
Oh, today
her episode airs. So she will be on today. So if you are somewhere near a TV and everything, Stephanie, good luck.
Is yours ever going to air?
It airs June 29th. Mine, I have to wait longer. Stephanie's airs today, so you got a local person and a local listener of the show.
Congratulations,
So Stephanie, get after it. And I got a feeling Stephanie has a nice St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, well, we gotta watch.
So Stephanie, good luck today, even though you already know the outcome. You already know the outcome.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's awesome.
Good
Congratulations
job.
to
Thanks,
Stephanie. All right, coming up next, we have today's headlines with Connor Thomas. We'll see if we have a second qualifier and name that PED user. And your chance to get in the spot in Knockout. We'll check the text line. Also, the Twitter poll that is telling you all you need to know about the relationship with Bryce Harper this year. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Got something to say about Phillies?
7 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Amy Fadul here, ready to go. Tuesdays with Amy. She'll be joining us to start the 8 o'clock hour. Don't forget, Jim Salsbury will be joining us at 8:05. Jimmy saw the live performance of Zach Wheeler doing live BP, so we can get the first-hand account on what Jim Salsbury was able to see Zach Wheeler do against live batters. That's another step in the right direction for Zach Wheeler in his rehab process. Curious to see what the velocity was like, the late life. Right, we always joke around with Andrew DeCecco talking about violent hands when it comes to draft prospects. Late life on the fastball is one of those great terms in baseball, right? Does he still have late life on the fastball?
By the way, Connor, I trust Jim's eyes. Like, as far as when you talk about people's eyes that I trust.
He's got good eyes.
Jim Salsbury's eyes, he's seen enough of, like, watching stuff, so I do. Like, there's people's whose eyes I trust.
This is his first year on the beat in some time.
I would say I trust his eyes.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about a little bit.
Yeah, I can't. So we speak to him at 8:05. Amy joins us to start the 8 o'clock.
Amy's working on a bracket right now, I think.
Well, speaking of bracket, I was just telling you guys during the break, this will be Cooper Salciunas' first ever bracket.
Oh, wow.
I think the strategy's the easy one. I tell him the mascots. He picks who he thinks wins via the mascot.
So you're just telling him mascots, not schools.
Yeah, because he's getting into sports more. Like,
I love
we
that.
were watching. We didn't watch last night's game. He did not watch last night's game, Italy versus Venezuela. But when we watched Italy versus Mexico, I was telling him what they needed to do in order to win for the USA to move on. He was like, "Well, who do I root for?" I was like, "Easier one is just Italy. Like, hope for Italy to win." And so it was fun. He was getting into it when Team Italy was up and winning. So if I could get him to be a little bit in on the NCAA tournament without, complaining about certain things, like, I'm going to do whatever I can.
That's good.
It's an incentive, the bracket, for
I like
him
it.
at that age.
And two, it's a little competition thing within the family.
I'm going to get Christy to do one too, and she will have no clues.
It's going to be hard to keep the screen time down.
Yeah, he doesn't really do screen time, but you know what? For the tournament, there's exceptions to every rule.
There you go.
All right, it's time now for today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with the Connor Thomas.
As brought to us by Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. We're going to go back to something that happened earlier this week, but the quote had just come out yesterday from one Juan Soto. Of course, he plays for the Mets during the Major League Baseball season, but he played for the Dominican Republic in the World Baseball Classic. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Soto, after losing 2-1 to the United States in the semis, quote, "We showed the world who's the best team in baseball."
Did he play
quote.
hockey for Canada?
More like the Dominican Republic.
God, he's such a loser. He is such a loser. He's got such a loser mentality. I cannot stand that mentality.
You lost, period.
Dave Dombrowski, though, has said, "Man, he's the kind of player I'm looking to grab."
Well, I would grab him
he is
as
Juan
a player.
Soto.
No, he's saying same mentality though. Just a bounce here, bounce there. We're
I know it's such a coping mechanism. You lost. Period.
You lost, dude. You weren't the best
and
team.
the calls in the end of the 8th and 9th innings were bad.
They were
if
awful.
we had the challenge system, those calls don't happen. But don't act like you weren't one for whatever with runners in scoring.
You scored
position.
one run, bro.
Right, that we showed. Look, I don't even want to say they should be proud. Team Italy should be proud of what they've been able to accomplish. The Dominican Republic, like Team USA, has a damn all-star team.
They do.
And the game was great. Incredible theater. You lost, period. Just leave it at that.
Do you think the Dominican Republic, so I saw them on MLB Network talking about it, would you take the Dominican Republic roster over the U.S. roster?
Oh, it's just such a toss-up.
It's a great question.
Because they analyzed it, and I think it was split. Their panel was sort of split. I mean, that's how close it was.
I don't even know if I could give you an answer because the bullpens,
unbelievable.
They're all throwing 100.
The U.S.
both of them.
By the way, I think that you see that the Padres are probably not letting Mason Miller pitch tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that later on today because
the bullpens have been
There are some legitimate flaws with the World Baseball Classic that should probably get addressed down the road. You can't do it now.
Can't do it now.
Totally agree.
All right,
Speaking
what's next?
of the World Baseball Classic, and a guy we mentioned earlier, A-Rod. Now, we're not talking steroids in this instance, but he is talking about a young star of the game. Roman Anthony has been a big point of focus in the World Baseball Classic. But you guys got to tell me if Alex Rodriguez is jumping the gun with his evaluation of Roman Anthony.
When you see a kid like that, whether it's Joe DiMaggio or Ted Williams or Derek Jeter or Big Pop, there's some people that just have the it factor. And that kid has the looks, the humility, the size, the power. Poppy, you know him well. He's very, very special.
Yeah, stop. That's Justin Herbert is a great quarterback because of the way he's built, his prototype. I'm not saying Roman Anthony's not going to be a good baseball player. He's 21 years old. The kid could be a superstar in baseball. But one of my biggest issues with sports, and look, I do it too. We all do it. We jump the gun a lot. Like, oh, this guy's going to be the next great one. And then Zion Williamson never turns out to be the next LeBron. Right? He was the next LeBron James because he did a 360 dunk at Duke. And so he was the next LeBron James.
Before he started dunking his Oreos.
There's a lot of jumping the gun that sports people do, and a lot of it is because if they're right, I knew it all along.
I want to be first.
I looked at. Did you not play the clip from me when I said that Roman Anthony looked like Ted Williams? And then if it doesn't play well, hey, look. I mean, it's hard to came into the league with all that pressure, all those expectations. Some guys just aren't built for it.
Yeah, so, hey, the World Baseball Classic overreactions are not just happening in the negative, and they're not just happening here.
They're also happening for a Philly.
Yes.
Dante Nori, according to A-Rod, 2 GMs, we cannot confirm whether or not Dave Dombrowski is one of them, said that he's going to be a star in Major League Baseball.
Which would be great.
Let's hold our horses on all of the stuff from the tournament happening in March. Now, a tournament that's happening this summer, and you're going to see it here in Philadelphia, is the World Cup. And there was a video circulating. Now, some folks believe the video is older than when it was posted. I saw it earlier this week. It's hard to track down because it's the third league of Argentinian professional soccer. But I need to know if you guys want this coming to the announcer's booth for the World Cup. Announcers on auto-tune.
Le que la escaramuza y la volea.
My man Ricky Ricardo would never do that.
He should. That's sick. Can I be honest? Awesome. If the MLS implemented that, I might be in.
I'd be watching every night.
I might be in on the MLS if they implemented that.
Oscar doesn't do that.
There's a lot of people.
Oscar doesn't need that.
There's a lot of people that are probably so offended by that because it's their favorite sport. And
that doesn't even sound
totally
like it's at a game. That sounds like it's in a studio. That doesn't even sound like it has any.
He was with T-Pain.
Yeah, the video was like some live stream kind of thing too. So I don't even know. It's third league Argentinian soccer.
Add that, and I might watch.
When they say the beautiful game, they're not lying when you got announcers on auto-tune. So
T-Pain.
Salciunas in, I'm in. John sounds like you're out.
I'm out, yeah. I'm out.
Bring auto-tune to the booth.
All right, good job, Connor. Do we have a latest qualifier for our spot and knockout?
We're working on getting the information.
All right, we'll announce that next. The answer was?
Miguel Tejada.
Correct.
Excellent.
All right, your next one.
I didn't have it until the
age thing. Well, yeah, I mean, if I'm just giving you years of players being suspended, that might be.
The age thing, that's where it was. By the way, one of many players.
Yeah, that have pulled that.
I mean, come on now.
All right, here's your next one. This player was suspended for 50 games in 2009. He played for the Phillies and was a big part of that 08 squad.
Oh, that's easy.
610-632-0975. You try to get the right answer, you could be in the running for that spot in Knockout. Coming up next, 8 o'clock hour on a Tuesday means Amy Fadul in studio with us for the remainder of the show, and Jim Salsbury will join us at 8:05 to give us his live look-in. Well, it was yesterday, of Zach Wheeler's live BP against live hitters. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Where the seasons stand, I'm Connor Thomas, and the Sixers and Flyers are getting set for the home stretch of their regular seasons as we've crossed the halfway point of March. The Flyers, they're just looking to find a way into the postseason as they're still in a rebuilding period. Flyers president Keith Jones joined us yesterday. He talked about what he's made of the first year of Rick Tocchet here in Philly.
I think Rick has done a really good job of trying to implement his defense style of coaching. And with a group group of players that in some cases are very young. Obviously, there's going to be bumps along the way in that process. I'm quite pleased with Rick. I look forward to seeing what happens in the future.
Flyers are off tonight. They will host the Ducks tomorrow. Sixers, they're back in action tonight against the Nuggets, 10 p.m. You can hear that game live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. With 14 games left, they're tied for the 8th seed in the East. We're just 9 days away from opening day for the Phillies. We'll keep you updated as they make their roster cutdowns in spring training. Johan Rojas making news, and not in a good way. An 80-game PED suspension handed down yesterday from Major League Baseball. Team USA faces Venezuela in the World Baseball Classic title tonight after Venezuela took down Italy last night. And Darius Slay has announced his retirement from professional football. Amy Fadul joins the show for the remaining hours. Jim Salsbury joins us coming up next to talk some Phils. This update is brought to you by Family and Company Jewelers in Marlton. No pressure, no commission shopping. With every price clearly displayed, no haggling, just real value from a family-owned business on Route 70 or shop online at FamilyJewelers.com. South Jersey's diamond destination. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
The Fanatic. Thank you, Johnny Marks. It is 8 a.m. on this Tuesday morning here on Kincade Salciunas, which means from now until the end of the show, joining us here in studio from NBC Sports Philadelphia, the great Amy Fadul. Amy, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Happy tournament week.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
St. Patrick's Day.
Happy tournament week.
You also not wearing green. John's the only guy that came prepared.
I mean, I came prepared. It's tournament week,
That's
right?
true. Yeah, you got your Kentucky blue going on right now.
Yeah. I laid out. Everyone else in my family will be wearing green. Well, I can't speak for Sean. I didn't lay out his clothes. But everybody else,
not that Sean shouldn't be wearing green today.
Yeah, Sean Kane will be. Sean Patrick Kane is absolutely wearing green today.
He's rocking
He'll
that
be just
today.
fine. Sean Michael Kane will also be wearing green.
There we go.
That's good.
So
That's good work.
Yeah.
So we'll speak with Jim Salsbury coming up at 8:05. Zach Wheeler pitched on Sunday against live hitters. We'll get the first-hand account from what Jim Salsbury was able to see from Zach Wheeler. See if there was that late life to that fastball.
Late life.
I love that. I love just sports terms. It's great. It
Late
makes me happy. He was towing the rubber, you know?
Yeah, late life though that brings together like a visual, like you can picture it.
You know what late life is.
You know what that looks like.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got late life.
I just
got
hope
that.
he's not in his late life of his career.
Yes, I hope not either. So, Amy, we are 9 days away from opening day.
Let's go.
And we were thinking about this yesterday because the discourse around Bryce Harper has changed a lot. It starts with it starts with a poor performance in the playoff series against the Dodgers, coming off the season where statistically, if nobody watched the Phillies last year and just clicked on Bryce Harper's stat line, you go, he had a pretty good season.
That's all right. Yeah, pretty good.
But we all saw that he was human last year. He was not Bryce Harper. And then he doesn't play well in the playoffs. Then you have the Dave Dombrowski not elite comments. Then you have the Bryce Harper not elite T-shirt, and then the comments that he's made on numerous podcasts. Right. And it feels like people have talked about Bryce Harper a little bit differently recently. We have a Twitter poll running, and it's strong, as it is for 4 hours every single day here in the morning as well as the afternoon. Thanks to Dr. Avidan Appel, Iron Mountain Men's Health. Connor, can you tell us what the question is and give the answer or the results so far? And I want Amy to react to it.
Yeah, so we have over 340 votes already this morning, so not a small sample size on this question. After the Bryce Harper not elite argument this offseason, who do you believe will end up being right this year, Dave Dombrowski or Bryce Harper? Dombrowski getting 73% of the vote.
That was my reaction.
How would you
that's surprising.
How would you have voted?
Bryce Harper.
That he's going to return to being an elite player?
Yes.
I voted Dave Dombrowski.
I'm surprised it's that high.
That's what my biggest surprise was. 70, because you know this city. We are always player first. Always.
This
right?
city tends to always be player first.
And the second somebody chooses us, they're heroes.
You're one
for
of us.
life.
We love him.
And oh, by the way, he also took the Phillies out of very dark times, 10-year playoff drought, the bedlam at the bank. Like, there are numerous
MVPs,
moments where, like, even though they didn't make the playoffs that year, the grand slam against the Cubs, where you had the famous "Oh my God" by John Kruk.
I worked that game.
Like, there were there's a lot of Bryce Harper moments that we'll always remember. But in the "What have you done for me lately" society, it seems like people are thinking about him differently now.
I think also people have watched him at the WBC, and that he had a double. That last game was a little rough. You can't really base it on that last game. He had a double, but no one hit in that game. That game was tremendous, and Juan Soto be saltier. But it was a little bit of like you have really like recency bias, I think. So you're coming off a slightly above average season by Bryce Harper standards, maybe an average season by Bryce Harper standards for everybody, what we've seen from him. Then you're having the playoff performance, and then now you've seen the WBC to go with all the elite stuff. I think it's a little bit in that. When I first saw all of the elite, I would call it nonsense, because it is. I get what Dave Dombrowski was doing. I also get what Bryce Harper's doing. If that's what you need to, dog mask it up and get yourself going, Go crazy. I don't care what it is that gets you motivated.
You got to back it up.
Yeah, and I think that there is a little certain fire that does feed into Bryce Harper, that chip on your shoulder type of. The guy's been doing it since he was 16 years old, so playing at such a high level. And if you take the comments that your general manager says or president of baseball operations says, and it helps fuel you, then Bryce is notoriously slow out of the gates, right? In his history, he's usually not an April guy. He's May, June, July. So if this gets him going in April, great, perfect. Let's do that. I don't care. Yes, you're not elite. Whatever you need to hear, I think that's it. But I would not bet against him until I absolutely need to.
What will be interesting, though, and we'll get to Jim Salsbury here in a minute, you're right that out the gate, sometimes he tends to start slow.
That goes back to the Nationals days. This is not a Philadelphia thing.
But do people forget that because of what went down this offseason?
Absolutely, they forget it.
Well, he put that bullet on. He put that
which
target
is fine.
on his back.
And he knew what he was doing. This is not a guy that, again, he has been in the exceptionally high spotlight since he was 16 years old. He is not new to the game. He understands how the whole thing works. He knew he was putting himself in that position. He's going to reap what he sows, and I think he's going to be fine. I'm fine with
now
that.
the question is, does he cash in on it?
Yep. All right. Joining us now here on Kincade and Salciunas, Amy Fadul in studio with us for the remainder of the show today, as she always is on Tuesdays. From NBC Sports Philadelphia, not just Amy Fadul, but also Jim Salsbury. Jim, good morning.
Hey, guys. Good morning. How you doing, Amy?
Morning, Jim. Good to hear from you.
So, Jim, you were live in person, able to watch Zach Wheeler pitch to some hitters on Sunday. Curious what your takeaways were with Zach Wheeler. Was there late life on the fastball?
Late life. He looked healthy, and I think the late life will come as he continues his ramp up. But the main thing is, he threw all his pitches, no health setbacks. He'll do another one tomorrow. And there's been no red flags thus far here in the spring. He's been able to do everything that he is supposed to be doing. And maybe it'll be a little more late life tomorrow because it takes a little time to build. He was like 93, he said. But, you need that adrenaline in a stadium and whatnot, and you need a full spring to really start popping it. But I think he's in a really good spot. We'll know a little bit more tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe next week, maybe around the time the team is leaving or shortly after, he goes over to the minor league complex because they'll be around like another extra week and starts getting some, kind of competitive innings. But I think he's on a good track to get back here sometime. Maybe I wouldn't rush it. They're very, close to the vest on their timetable. I would say maybe late April because they got some cold weather early, and then it'll be off and running. But all signs look pretty good right now.
Jim, all signs looking really good for the rotation as a whole. If you look past what they're going to have to navigate not only before Zach Wheeler gets back, but as far as what you believe the vision is for the whole year?
Yeah, I think it looks good at this point. It's thin. They need, good health is absolutely imperative. Good health and, 30-plus starts from your top five, and that's very unusual for a team to, go through the season with 5 starters. It would be ideal if they could, but they don't have a lot of depth after Taijuan Walker, who will open in the rotation. But, yeah, they're in a very good spot. You got Luzardo brimming with confidence off a new contract, looking good, looking strong. Nola's been very encouraging in 2 outings in the WBC, coming off a bad year. A little uptick on the fastball that makes everything else play better. I think he's in more competitive condition earlier than maybe his other rotation mates because he started earlier. But I mean, that's what we've seen is certainly better than what we've seen last year. And, Painter's going to come in and pick up a spot at the back end. It's a good rotation for him to break in on because it's so veteran. That should alleviate pressure. And then you have, the runner-up in the Cy Young, Christopher Sanchez. I expect him to be named opening day starter maybe today or tomorrow. And he should be like Luzardo. He should be loaded with confidence.
Mm-hmm.
He's only getting better. So I think the rotation, once again, will be the strength of their team. But, I just have to kind of warn. They're very, very thin. They need these guys to post, and they need these guys to stay healthy because there's just not a lot down below.
Jim, you mentioned Andrew Painter, and I think there's a lot of excitement and expectations on him. And I know from when you were down there and when our other reporters were down there, there was a lot of excitement surrounding him when he was throwing, whether it was off to the side or whatever. But then you also look in the outfield and you have Justin Crawford. So of those two, the rookies, is there one that you're expecting more from as far as contribution to a Phillies kind of successful season than the other?
Well, just in nature of their positions, Crawford's going to play, every day. They expect him to be an everyday player. Obviously, as an everyday player, he'll get an occasional day off. They might protect him here and there against maybe, a tough lefty, but he's going to be expected to be a major league regular, and I think he could have an impact at the bottom of the order. He certainly has had an excellent minor league track record. It's time to see what he can do. Much like Painter, I think he's breaking in on a good team that has a really veteran lineup, and that can ease some pressure. Hopefully he doesn't feel like he has to do too much. I'm very eager to see him. He's been a career minor league 300-plus hitter. He's got great wheels. He's got good baseball instincts. The knock on him is he hits the ball on the ground, but I don't know. I grew up watching Willie McGee. He hit the ball on the ground too, and ran like a a sprinter around the bases. I think a player like that would be awfully exciting. I know it's a different game than that era with all the turf, but I'm eager to see Crawford, and Painter needs to contribute every fifth day and break in. So in their own way, they're both going to contribute a lot to this thing, and it's important because such an aging roster that they need to cycle in some younger players for a lot of reasons. You need to sustain things talent-wise. You need to start funneling some of your own players to the big leagues. I mean, they have some young veterans, Bowman, Stott, homegrown, but you need some young homegrown guys, and that also balances out your payroll. So you need to get contributions. So I'm eager to see what both can do. Both have a world of talent. It takes a little time to believe you belong in the big leagues, but I think they both look good here. Painter really looks good. When I see him, I just think he looks like a big leaguer, and I think it's time to take a peek at him. I know he had a really rough year last year. He did not throw enough quality strikes, but seems to be dialing that command in with a little mechanical adjustment. And we've been waiting a long time to see this kid, so I'm eager to see both guys.
Jim, I want to stick with the outfield. I know nobody wants to overreact to spring training stats, whether they're really good or really bad, but what are your expectations for Adolis Garcia in right field for the Phillies this year?
Well, I think in Citizens Bank Park he's going to hit 25. Because he's a power hitter, and that's a good ballpark to hit in. But we know he's had two very, very down years. He had a great 23, and he had two very, very down years. He just kind of was his own worst enemy, expanding the strike zone. Chase rate was very high, which is, something other players on this team have had problems with. So if he's going to chase everything and strike out a lot, he's not going to be that effective, but I still think he can run into 25 home runs, and if he can somehow build a little bit more selectivity, you could see that maybe start with a 3. It's really imperative that he swing and strikes. But I think the ballpark will help him. We'll see if Kevin Long helps him. But it comes down, you can preach, selectivity, you can preach situational hitting, and they do. They constantly preach it. They constantly work on it. Once you get in the batter's box, man, a player often reverts back to the way he is. And, he's going to have to make some adjustments and swing at strikes. And I mean, that's what made Trey Turner I thought his season impressive last year, is he really turned up the selectivity, sacrificed a little power, and was very selective and focused on getting on base, and had a really, really good year, finished 5th in the MVP voting. So guys can change it, but Harper needs to be more selective, and certainly Garcia does. Swing at strikes and see what happens. But I'll tell you what, I'll bet on the power in that ballpark. I think the power has a chance to play in Citizens Bank Park.
So, Jim, a lot of the core for the Phillies probably spent like 2.5 weeks together playing games during spring training by the time this thing's done. Does that tell you that spring training's way too long?
Yeah, it's long, especially the way athletics has changed with guys staying in shape 12 months a year. With guys, they all belong to, like we belong to Planet Fitness. They belong to these high-end workout facilities.
Except Rojas.
Yeah.
He goes to horse stables.
He's training for the Kentucky Derby.
He's at Churchill Downs.
Amy got him in there.
Derby's right around the corner,
exactly.
Unbelievable. I mean, we've had testing for 20 years.
Exactly. Like, what are we doing?
They are. It is beaten into these guys' heads.
Unbelievable.
But the pressure to catch the big paycheck is immense, and guys do stupid things. But spring training is too long. Once upon a time, Mickey Mantle used to show up to spring training, and it was 6 weeks, and he'd put a garbage bag over, and he'd sweat off his winter 20 pounds. The guys don't put on 20 pounds in the winter anymore. So I think a month would be fine, but I will say this. The pitchers probably need 6 weeks of a build-up. That's what we're seeing in Zach Wheeler. His build-up has just started. So is it too long? Yeah, it's definitely too long for the position guys. They can't wait to get going. Pitchers need that time to build some arm strength. But I don't see it getting any shorter anytime sooner because it's become such big business, and it's such an event. I mean, it's an event. Every game's an event down here. So it is what it is. It's a great time of the year, but the guys are ready to get going. Sure, as we enter, we're in the final week now. They leave next Monday.
Look, it's also great for you, right? You get to build up the wrist strength, writing all these articles, typing all these great articles. So spring training is also important for you, Jim. We all understand that.
It's you gotta loosen up the keyboard.
There you go.
We appreciate it, Jim.
Good
Enjoy
to have
yourself.
you back, Jimmy.
9 days away, and we'll be talking to you throughout the season. Thanks, Jim.
My pleasure. Have a great day. See you.
There he is, Jim Salsbury.
The
Joining us
best.
here on Kincade Salciunas. I love him. Good to have him back.
He just does.
Good insight. Just really just.
Yeah.
I find myself like when I talk to him, I kind of like zone out to the point where he stops talking. I'm like, oh,
There's just
I gotta ask another question. I was just so I'm just so interested in the way that he presents stuff.
You know what I like is there's and this is going to sound like a detraction a little bit. There's no sex and sizzle. I like it because it's just information. He's so informational and conversational. I just like hearing him talk the sport.
Yeah, he presents information in a way that's
it's conversational.
Yeah, you understand it, and you're invested in what he's saying.
Yeah. But there's no
good job.
Yeah,
ball scribe.
He
He's
loves
the ball
the game.
scribe.
He loves the
He
game.
does love baseball.
He's got a
He's
good
very
club.
good at what he does.
The Phillies do have a good club. They have a good club. I saw somebody on our Twitter account responding to the video of our topic today about Bryce Harper.
Okay.
And how it
Saying
kind of
what?
feels like it's changing a little bit. And somebody says sports talk radio making up controversy where there is none. No Phillies fan that I know is talking about this. None.
Oh, that's
Well,
not
are you?
true.
Is he out of his mind?
I believe Kate.
She?
Maybe Kate just communicates with other people. We
Maybe
all
Kate
have
is-
different algorithms.
Right, exactly.
We all have different algorithms.
Because you and I definitely have a different algorithm.
Yes.
Like as far as we'll say on the same issue,
Yeah.
I'll say, wow, I think mine was much
Yeah.
more positive.
But I mean,
Whatever.
just in general, I feel like I encounter people in real life. I know, a lot of people think what you see on social media is the only thing that's happening. I encounter humans that you meet and they talk to you about it and be like, oh, what do
Yeah.
you think about Bryce Harper this year? Not necessarily in a negative way, but just in a curious way.
A
And I
questioning
don't
way, which
think-
we've never questioned. him
Exactly.
before.
That was like,
Correct.
you don't have 3 years ago. Someone be like, what do you think about Bryce Harper? I don't know. You think he's going to hit 30 and win MVP? Like that was
Right.
like the conversation. There wasn't a question of like, hey, what do you think about him this year?
And plus, they brought the discussion with Bryce Harper to a level of elite.
Yeah.
We all agree. We all could agree. We did it before.
Yeah.
We can all raise our hands and say he is going to be we all believe he's going to be a very good player for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Absolutely.
But is he going to be an elite player in Major League Baseball? I say no.
Which right now this team still needs him to.
I say no.
Like we can all be
Like
excited. You heard Jim talking about Crawford and Painter
Right, exactly.
and the young
You
guys.
have to have him be at that level.
He needs to be.
right.
I'm not
he
saying he needs to win MVP. I'm
Right.
saying he needs to win the
But-
MVP of the Phillies.
But I think if he is a very good player for the Phillies, and Schwarber is a very good player for the Phillies, and Turner is a very good player for the Phillies,
They'd be
this
okay.
team's going to be in great shape.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I don't need Bryce Harper doesn't have to be elite Major League Baseball player for this franchise
You
to
can't
have a great
have
year.
one guy, Kyle Schwarber, basically carry your team.
And he carried you last year.
He did.
Yeah.
You're not in the playoffs if Kyle Schwarber does
No.
not
Correct.
have a runner-up
No.
MVP type season. All right, Amy, for Knockout today, we're playing Name That PED User.
yeah, this is fun. You should also name the drug that they got popped
Yes,
for.
exactly. I can't even
that
pronounce
one's
them.
going to be tough.
Yeah.
All right, here's your next one. Text in the answer that you believe is correct. By the way, congratulations to John Stewart, our third qualifier.
John Stewart?
The answer was J.C. Romero.
That
Yes.
Because J.C. was pinched back in 2009.
was he and his manscaped eyebrows.
Yes.
Exactly.
All right, this guy got pinched in 2018.
Matt
His
LaFleur.
first of 2 suspensions due to PED use. And it's like the one player in the last decade
Yeah.
that Seattle actually paid.
Yeah.
That's your
Tremendous.
clue. 610-632-0975. Text in what you
Why is
believe
this so easy?
is the correct answer.
We know too much about. Well, listen, baseball after the whole steroid scandal,
Oh, yeah.
the transparency level is through the roof. That's
I
why
guess
we
it's
all
what
know
it
these
is.
things.
Yeah, it's what it is.
Very transparent.
All right, we're going to get back to this topic about Bryce Harper because right away we had a fan saying nobody's talking about this. Trust me. Trust us. People are. Amy, I want you to read the fan base. All right, not your own personal opinion. I want you to read the fan base next when it comes to Bryce Harper. We'll get more on that, more text messages It is Kincade and Salciunas. We also have the Eagles topic that we got to ask Amy. Is the gap closing in the NFC East? It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, the Fanatic.
Oh, it's all about live betting on the BetParx app. And with the big tournament starting up, you're going to want to live bet on whether it's college hoops, whether it's pro basketball, pro hockey. You've got it on the BetParx online casino and sportsbook app, the only app I ever recommend to you. It's got all your classic casino games, too, so if you got a little time to kill, you can play blackjack, craps, roulette, hundreds of online slots. You can do all that, too. But betting on your favorite sports, it's always fun, too. And betting on player performance is always an easy way to cash in, too. I'll tell you, with all the injuries coming up with some of the local basketball games, too, it's been easy to bet on who's going to get a lot more shots up, who's going to get a lot more points. If you know your team, you can really cash in. New users can get up to $1,000 in casino bonus back if they're down in the first 24 hours, too. Check out BetParx.com and get the details. So whether your team scores or not, there's always another way to win on the BetParx online casino and sportsbook app. Got to be 21, Pennsylvania, Jersey, Michigan. Gambling problem? Please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Pushing towards the postseason. I'm Connor Thomas, and that's what the Sixers and Flyers are doing right now as we hit the late period of March for the Flyers. It would be a welcome surprise if they find themselves in the NHL postseason. They're still in the midst of a rebuild, and Flyers president Keith Jones joined us yesterday, and he talked about the things that he's excited about in the rebuild period.
One of the things I'm really happy about is we are alleviating a lot of the cap pressure that we had in the past. All of that money is starting to come off the book. That was one of the objectives when Danny and I took over.
So they're setting themselves up for the future. They're off tonight. They'll host the Ducks tomorrow. For the Sixers, it's more about the present, and they're dealing with a lot of injuries in the present. They've got 14 games left, tied for the 8th seed in the East. They play the Nuggets tonight, 10 p.m. You can hear that game live here on the Fanatic. We're just 9 days away from opening day for the Phillies. We'll keep you updated as they make their roster cutdowns in spring training. Johan Rojas, who was announced yesterday by Major League Baseball, will be suspended 80 games for a performance-enhancing drug violation. Team USA has their opponent for the World Baseball Classic final. They'll face Venezuela after Venezuela took down Italy last night. The finals tonight at 8 p.m. And Darius Slay has announced his retirement from football. Amy Fadul remains with the guys for the remainder of the show. This update is brought to you by the Hartford Auto Insurance. Drivers 50 and over can count on the Hartford Auto Insurance for protection that brings peace of mind. The Hartford, your protection is their passion. Provided by the Hartford Insurance Group Incorporated. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic.
97.5 The Fanatic.
It is 8:30 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic, for your chance to win a spot in Knockout, which is 8 days away. March 25th. So we have 8 days till Knockout, 9 days till opening day. We are doing Name That PED User in honor of Johan Rojas, who was suspended for 80 games because he wanted to run as fast as Secretariat on the baseball field. Suspended for 80 games to hit 6 home runs. Unbelievable in his career, not in a season.
He wanted to be on the top 25 Philly athletes list with Smarty Jones.
Yes,
so.
you're right. He wanted to surpass Smarty Jones. You're right. It's horrible. All right, Amy. So before we get to the Eagles question, we touched on it, before we had Jim Salsbury on. But one of our questions today is what our relationship as a city will be with Bryce Harper going into 2026. Now, you gave your read on the situation. You understand that he starts off slow, and you're expecting him to reach back to that elite form. How do you think this city will interact with Bryce Harper throughout the course of the season? We talked about opening day. He'll get the standing ovation. But expectations have now reached a point where it's like, do it or else.
Yeah, because we've seen it, right? They've seen the potential. They've seen them meet expectations. They've seen them exceed it back in 2022, to be honest, and then fall short now when you're looking at the last 2 years. 2023 is going to stick in everyone's craw, but really 2024 was the first of really, this is how we're rolling, and then you see 2025. So it's back-to-back disappointing years of you were right there, you had the complete team, and you came up short again. Lack of power in the postseason has been a real issue several years in a row now. And listen, there are times where Bryce Harper did hit. I'm not going to say his entire postseason career for the Phillies has been a lack of power. He clearly has it. We know that. But in the recency biasness that we all live in, and that's how it works.
That's sports.
That's not just Philadelphia. I know we're going to get the bad rap of you don't appreciate. That's just sports. I can go back to things that happened 5 years ago and appreciate them, but my expectations are for you to get us back to where, as a fan base, we would like to be, and that is going on deep runs into Red October, not one and done. That's not what the expectation is here. So I think that you're trying to temper it. I do expect him to get back to that. I think he's put a lot of expectations on himself. I think he's put a lot of that pressure on himself. Again, I go back to this is not a guy that's his first rodeo. It's not his first time in the spotlight. It's not his first time with a team, kind of weighing on him and trying to lean on him to carry him. This goes back to something he's dealt with since he was 19 and he came in the big leagues. I think that it's very calculated for him to put that stuff out there. I think he knows what he needs to do, and I think, listen, I'm going to put this stuff out there for myself. I don't care what you need to do to get yourself. People used to make fun of the guys when they did the dog mask. I'm like, why? I would talk to people outside of Philadelphia, why do they need to wear this dog? Do you really care what your athlete needs to do to get himself hyped up? No.
Wasn't it Lane Johnson that built a shrine?
Yeah.
Nick Foles.
Great.
In the locker room.
Let's go.
Whatever, man.
Whatever. The stupid blow-up bunny would have worked until it didn't.
Would you have
it was never going to work.
Yeah,
if Bryce bumps into you, if Bryce bumps into you at the coffee shop during the off season and says, "Amy, I'm thinking of really answering Dave Dombrowski publicly on this not elite stuff," would your advice have been to him, do what you got to do, go do that, or would it have been?
First, you'd say put down the raw milk.
I would have been
because if you're at the coffee shop,
Louis Pasteur
you're going to get somebody
did
sick.
something really great for us all. Okay.
You're going to get somebody
really
sick with that.
Let's go ahead and lean into that. It's a very smart man. So we're going to go ahead and deal with the pasteurization of milk. But secondly,
conversation
as I'm ordering my tea, listen, again, if this was a guy that was new, if this was a player that I felt needed guidance, and because he was still in the infancy of his Major League Baseball career or in the spotlight or weighing at this kind of level of intensity and scrutiny, as far as you are our savior, I would probably give him more advice. I don't know that I would give advice to a guy that's been in this white-hot spotlight for half of his life at this point.
Yeah, I got you. He asked you, though. And in my scenario, he was asking
so if he said me, I was just well, listen, would it help you? Bryce, would it help you? Do you feel like it would be something that would help motivate you And does it piss you off enough that it's going to be like, I'm going to think about it every single day? Because there are players, when they get drafted a certain spot, they know exactly who got drafted over them, and it's something they think about their entire career. They think about it all their lives. I was drafted 21. Aaron Rodgers made an entire career out of it.
Yeah.
And he did quite well with it.
Tom Brady has.
Tom Brady, I was 199. So if Bryce Harper looks at himself and says, yeah, the not elite comment made me enough, I got pissed off enough that I'm going to think about it and I'm going to try to refocus my game an entire season, go for it.
You got to back it up.
You got to back it up.
Yeah.
Well, that's the point.
It's putting
That's the point.
It's putting all that
That's the
pressure
point.
on him. And
He
if
already has
doesn't-
the pressure on him.
Yeah, and it has. I'm telling you, I would have just said, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth it to put? Is it?
I don't know how much more pressure it is on him having that comment and wearing the shirt.
Because it's just going to be talked about. It's going to be talking about. But Dave
the
Dombrowski
elite
would have been
comment
talked
is going to be
about.
talked about. It still would have been talked about because if Bryce didn't answer it and then he starts off slow, it would have been like, hey, does Dave Dombrowski's elite comment, is that getting to you? Is that why you started off slow? It would have been the first thing that people thought out if he has a slow April. And then if he does turn the corner and now it's at the All-Star break, hey, that elite comment, it must have really gotten to you, didn't it? It would have never gone away. So I think, in my personal opinion, I would have welcomed it. I would have addressed it, embraced it, and been like, yeah, sure, whatever. Because it was never going away. It would have been addressed to him in maybe a different manner, but it would have definitely been brought up. Because it would have been brought up in a good way or a bad way, depending on how he started.
All right, let's check some responses on that on the Davis Honda text line. Feel the Davis difference at Davis Honda in Burlington. And then we're going to get to a call about our other topic today, Eagles related. What do we got on the text line, Connor?
So Dale checks in and says, I would have to vote on that poll for Harper returning to be elite and him being right, if for anything else, so that Dave Dombrowski will be wrong and help the door hit him where the good Lord split him.
I would like Dave Dombrowski to be wrong. He's been wrong a lot recently with the Philadelphia Phillies.
Dave's had a lot of wrong.
All right, let's go to Terrell in Philly. Amy, we have an Eagles topic. Terrell's going to start it off for us, though. Is the gap closing in the NFC East? What's up, Terrell?
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, Terrell.
Hey, so I'm usually Team Connor all the way.
My guy.
Connor is really relatable. But I got to agree with John Kincade on this. I'm Team Kincade. Like, no. Like, there's no way there's even a close race because, number one, Cowboys cornerbacks was awful last year. They were some of the worst in the league. Commanders, yeah, they gotten better, but they still don't have another pass catcher. You can't really take that serious until they get like Brandon Ayuk or something, and then you could probably entertain it. And I understand Jaden Daniels was unhealthy, but you really can't really entertain. And Jackson Dart hasn't really shown us nothing yet. So I agree with Kincade on this.
I think the one team that I would be I'm not worried about the Commanders or Giants. If the Cowboys, to your point, the secondary was so bad for them. But if they figure out a way to get a middle-of-the-pack defense, that offense is scary.
But that's where John Kincade is right because there is no buts when it comes to secondary. Your secondary can literally cost you guys a playoff run.
Sure.
Like, Commanders might be better than the Cowboys if the secondary isn't good. Like, we got to look at that, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the idea is that closing the gap is one thing. If you're saying those teams are going to be better than they've been, sure. They're going to be better than they've been. I really believe it. I think Jaden Daniels helps the Commanders be better if he's healthy. I think the Cowboys are going to be better because I really like Coach Schottenheimer. I mean, I think what he's got cooking, and now they got Christian Parker. I think that's going to help. But close the gap to where one of those teams is going to beat out the Eagles? No. No,
even without AJ Brown,
AJ Brown,
yes, we are still good. We are still nice. Like we are still better. Like we should have beat the 49ers if AJ would have caught the ball too.
Yeah,
like I'm not going to say beat, but maybe we could have.
They should have beat the San Francisco 49ers. It's a tragedy. And thanks for the call, Terrell. It's a tragedy that they lost to the 49ers.
A motivated AJ Brown would, that would have been nice.
Or if Kevin Patullo
or an
had
offense that didn't have the exact same play over and over again.
Yeah,
it was a wasted season.
But the thing is, the plays that are called, you got to have players that are really looking to play. And this year, I'm hoping we do.
I'm not putting the loss to the Niners on AJ.
We got guys. There's a lot of drops.
That's Kevin Patullo.
Did he have one of the? Who had the worst game against the 49ers?
Kevin Patullo.
No, player.
Oh,
then AJ Brown, I guess.
Correct. He had the worst game of any player that was on the field. He had the worst game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
to
but that
me-
team got beat by almost 40 the next week. You should have been able to survive.
Some of the offensive line play in that game was pretty suspect.
It wasn't. But that's a
Cam
banged,
Jurgens was a
It's a banged up offensive line.
exactly. They had a rough game.
Banged up. Yes.
They had a rough game.
It's a tragedy they lost that game.
But that was
not
a
that I
terrible.
Not that I
I think
expected.
the thing is, let's
A.J.
face
Brown
it.
had
If
ball
they
right
had
in his
won
hands.
that game, the expectations were zero.
They're probably losing
for the
the
next
next
week.
Well, they were
Right.
going to Chicago. That I absolutely
I-
think they could have won a game
No.
in Chicago.
No, not that team. No way.
Oh, I agree.
Even if they snuck by a field goal by Jake
Now,
Elliott.
I don't think they were going to Seattle at any time and beating Seattle. And that Connor,
not from what I
Connor and
saw.
I have talked about that one. Is that I don't believe that was happening.
Yeah.
A Seattle win was happening.
All right, congratulations to Robert Bamford from Mantua, my hometown. Our latest qualifier for Name That PED User.
This one I got.
It was Robbie Cano.
Don't you know?
Robinson
know?
Cano, two-time PED user.
There's a couple guys that have gotten popped twice.
Yes, they have.
That
That's so incredible.
Well, you have to remember the 2018?
2013 had a big year
That was the
of
scandal. Yeah,
John.
biogenesis
The
scandal.
biogenesis,
Yeah.
yes.
So you had I'm not going to start naming people because I don't want to give away some of your people that are later. But
It's so embarrassing.
We've done A-Rod and Miguel Tejada already today.
have you done the player,
Yeah, just give one.
the Man Ram?
No.
He
It's
got
so-
popped twice.
It's
he
so
got popped
embarrassing that you'd get caught twice.
Do you get a punch card? Like, is the third one free?
I don't
Free
think
what?
so.
Like a sub shop
Free
where,
steroids?
where you hand it in and it's like, hey, you could get away with it for a year
You're
now.
like you're laying at Atomic Subs.
Maybe.
Because the Phillies, if they combine them,
Yeah, they've had 3 now.
they
It's
might just
truly
be there.
incredible that the same organization gets popped.
Well, Max
All
Kepler
the
was
time.
not a Philly when he got popped.
Well, no, he was. He
free-
was.
he's a free
No, when he
agent.
got injected, he was.
Nothing said.
He just got caught.
All right. In honor of Johan
for
Rojas,
batting
name that
200.
PED user. Here's your next one. This guy with the Marlins got popped in 2016. And like Johan Rojas, everybody was wondering, what are you doing it for? Because he finished with 18 total home runs in his 11-year career.
Wow.
Text in the answer that you believe is correct, 610-632-0975. One more clue. One of those 18 home runs was a beautiful, emotional moment. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. All right, coming up next, we'll get back to our discussions on hand today, but also... Where am I at here, Johnny?
I don't know,
It
but I'm
gets
excited
there.
to find out.
I would tell you this: somebody retired.
Yes, thank you.
That we
Speaking
love.
of weird
That we love.
relationships.
That we love.
We love them, and a lot of people don't. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
If you feel like something's off, get to a doctor. Get the test done. And if a cancer diagnosis comes into your family, comes into your brother, your father, your mother, whoever it is, the consultants in medical oncology and hematology will be there to help. Dr. Sprandio and his entire team make it easy for you to get answers. And more importantly, they make it easy for you to get answers fast. And since they're an independent practice, they're not tied to one tree of doctors with one healthcare system. In fact, I saw doctors and practitioners within 3 different systems. CMOH works with hospitals across the area. They're going to get you seamless care. They are going to schedule all your appointments for you, which is so awesome. They take a lot of the stress out of the process for you. And when I tell you that the people at the front desk, to the nurses, to the doctors, to everybody who works with you to get you through your care, they're amazing. And they become like family. And the earlier you act, the better it's going to be. The consultants in medical oncology and hematology, I'm telling you, have a conversation. Let them have a chance to give you a plan. They gave me a plan that another major healthcare system in town told me probably wouldn't have been a good choice for me. Well, in retrospect, they were right. CMOH.org. Take that first step like I did towards peace of mind.
Keep it locked into 97. Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, it is March 17th. Happy 10-year anniversary to an all-time soundbite. 10 years ago today was when Yale beat Baylor in the second round of the tournament.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And Taurean Prince, still in the NBA, right?
Probably rebounding somewhere.
And he was playing. He was one of the star players for Baylor. And Baylor lost to Yale, and they were out-rebounded. And the question at the podium was straight up, how does Yale out-rebound Baylor? To which he responds, well, you go up and grab the ball off the rim.
Yeah, what a rebound is
and when it comes off, and then you grab it with two hands, and then you come down with it. That's what's considered a rebound. And they got more of those
than we did. It is the greatest answer to any question that's ever been asked. I will take no notes on that one. 10 out of 10.
Dumb questions asked at press conferences.
See, I mean, the thing is, it's a fair question, and like, hey, how does that happen? Meaning you're Baylor. But the fact that he chose to answer it that way and did so with a straight face. They were a Final Four projection.
Absolutely.
That was a very good team.
Yes.
This is a team. It's a team that won the national championship not that long after.
Yeah.
It was a very good Baylor team. And in fairness, around here, I feel like we are a little bit more well-versed in the Ivy, given that we live in the Northeast. We know that's solid basketball. But one thing you don't think about it is going to be a really tall, rebounding, gritty team.
Right.
Yes, they're going to hit all the shots, make smart plays, make their free throws, the backdoor offense or whatever from Princeton.
Right.
You know all that. But from the outside, there was definitely someone that was down there. They were like, I'm sorry, can you just explain to me how Yale out-rebounds you? And because they wanted it more or whatever. The fact that he explained what a rebound was, and then awesome.
It's an arrogant question though. Like it's because you're really putting somebody on the spot as far as
absolutely
you're asking them to mock themselves.
Well, I'm asking you to evaluate yourself because it's a question that
fair question, just not the way you went about it. The reporter.
Right, like the sentiment is something that is interesting to me because how in the world did you underestimate Yale? Did you not realize that they also, had some height or rebounding?
What did Yale do in order to out-rebound
exactly.
you today?
There's a way to ask it because it's interesting.
And it's funny is we're doing an interview in the next couple of weeks with the class at school, and it's like I have examples of stuff like that, and I think too at those kind of events. People feel a lot more liberty to take.
Yeah, sometimes you're never going to see that guy again.
They're never going to ask. Whereas if you wouldn't ask that snarky question to someone you're on a beat with.
Yeah, that's not a question that's asked by the Waco media.
Correct.
Right.
You're going to do that with some kid that you never see again.
Yeah, which is
you're going to be snarky
in a tough spot.
with.
But
By the way, one of his teammates, Rico Gathers, who played tight end in the National Football League, never played football at Baylor. I was like, wait, that name's familiar. He played 4 years in the NFL. Imagine just being gifted by God, where it's just
Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah,
Gonzalez.
You're really good.
Julius Peppers.
You're really good at basketball, but you know what? Football's your career now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Charlie Ward.
Yes.
People don't believe it with Tony Gonzalez. They don't remember Tony Gonzalez. They're like, wait a minute. How could you be that good?
There's a couple tight ends that played.
Five was to play basketball.
Donovan played. He was on that national runner-up.
Yeah, my fallback is NFL Pro Bowler.
Yeah, exactly. Let me just fall back to that one. All right. So Darius Slay retired yesterday, and it's such an interesting We're talking about the relationship that we're going to have with Bryce Harper this season in Philadelphia. The Slay one was so weird to me, Amy. John and you and I have talked about this numerous times. A guy that came here, first off, you only trade a third and a fifth. It's not like you signed into some lucrative contract and you were expecting, Darrelle Revis numbers. Like you trade a third and a fifth for a guy that was a Pro Bowler with Detroit, comes here and is your best cornerback in a decade. Like literally just based off resume. He steps on the field and he's the best cornerback you've had in a very long time. That includes the team that won Super Bowl 52 because with all due respect to Ronald Darby and Jalen Mills, they're not Darius Slay.
They're not Darius Slay.
And then he locked down a side of the field for a very long time. And I understand, I think people got bothered by big play Slay, and it's not like he had
his personality
10 interceptions a year.
Well, I think the big play part of his game really didn't show as much here
and it was
at this point in his career.
System related.
But it's system related, exactly. And more importantly, his impact in the locker room.
That's another one.
His impact on young players in this organization. The players loved him.
And for whatever reason, there was this weird dislike of his in this city.
I'll never understand it.
And from fans, media members,
I'll never understand it.
I never got it because he goes to 2 Super Bowls. He was a 3-time Pro Bowler with the
One
Eagles.
Fan Fest.
He did go to Fan Fest.
He was so fun.
I think he's a likable. I think if you look past some of the bravado, I remember when he was named a captain in 2022. First time he'd ever.
People hated it.
Yeah, and he was emotional.
Yeah.
About it. It meant something so much to him to be elevated to that kind of level of leadership, and he took that very seriously. Taking guys like Reed Blankenship under his wing, Quinyon Mitchell under his wing, and really wanting to pass the torch, which a lot of players that are on the tail end of their career do not do.
Yeah.
They're not interested in mentoring. They'll help the guy because they're teammates, but as far as really bringing them along, and when that happened, and then he talked openly about it in 2023 and 2024 about bringing these other guys in that secondary room along with him, I think that you should have looked at him in a different light. If you looked at him in a poor light, to me that said a lot about his character.
The only thing I think a lot of people didn't like too is that on that podcast,
Yeah, I didn't like it either.
he would do the pointing fingers thing that
Right.
and I always did not. I thought that was poor.
I still remember it was after it was either that Niners or Cowboys game, one of the 2 horrific losses in 2023. He did the
wasn't me on that. It was the Christmas Eve game.
Yeah, the defense
Yeah,
played
I think it was
the
Cowboys.
defense played
Yeah, it was
like
Christmas
bleed
Eve
today.
Cowboy
Yeah,
game.
I'm pretty sure. I remember that.
But I played well.
Yeah, I played well, and it's like that's tough.
Don't want to hear that. But other than that, like I can't hold that one podcast clip against this guy who locked down a side of the field that struggled for a long time in Philadelphia.
Yep.
We talked about cornerback play being pretty bad for like a decade in this city.
It was just a bunch of guys that were just a guy. Jim Lynam calls them Jags, just a guy.
Right.
They were just a guys.
And before the just a guys, you paid money for Byron Maxwell, it didn't work. You paid money for Nnamdi Asomugha, it didn't work. Like this guy you brought in and he was good.
It worked.
And yet there just a weird relationship this city had
I think
with
the
him.
persona kind of people didn't buy into, but the swagger was great.
Absolutely.
Don't call him Darius, though.
And look, I saw the NBC clip yesterday.
Don't call him Darius.
That was
He's good stuff.
But look, he backed it up. Just like we're asking, will Bryce Harper back up the not elite stuff this year? Darius Slay backed it up. All right, coming up next, we were shocked, Amy, when Dallas Goedert only got $7 million. Do we overrate our own? It is Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, let me tell you about that FanDuel Sportsbook app. Oh, it starts tonight. Obviously, the big dance starts Thursday, but we got the playing game starting today. FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge, is dropping bonus bets into everyone's account for the tournament. All you got to do is opt in. Just opt in, claim your bonus today. Use them on your bracket picks, money lines, spreads, totals, game props, or even same-game parlays. You want to listen to your friend that says, I got the good value bet? Go for it. Or if you don't want to listen to them, that's fine too. Futures bets, something that I really like doing. You can bet teams to reach the Final Four. They win their region. You only have to bet them to win the entire tournament. But don't wait. These bonus bets are only available for a limited time. So visit FanDuel.com/local to learn more. That's FanDuel.com/local. You got to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. Bonus issued as knowledgeable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max bonus $500 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Trying to make a late run. I'm Connor Thomas, and that's what the Sixers and Flyers are doing as we reach the late March point of their regular seasons. For the Flyers, it would be something a little bit surprising considering they've still got a rebuild ongoing. And speaking of that, Flyers president Keith Jones joined us yesterday and talked about his thoughts on the first season of Rick Tocchet here at Philly.
I think Rick has done a really good job of trying to implement his defense style of coaching, and with a group of players that in some cases are very young. Obviously, there's going to be bumps along the way in that process. I'm quite pleased with Rick. I look forward to seeing what happens in the future.
Flyers are off tonight. They'll host the Ducks tomorrow. For the Sixers, they're trying to stay afloat with all the injuries they're dealing with. 14 games left for them. They're tied for the 8th seed in the East. They've got the Nuggets tonight at 10 p.m. You can hear that game live here on the Fanatic. We've just got 9 days till the Phillies open their Major League Baseball regular season. They're starting to make the roster cutdowns in spring training. Johan Rojas made news, and not in a good way yesterday. 80-game suspension for PEDs handed down by Major League Baseball to him. Team USA will face Venezuela tonight in the World Baseball Classic final. That game at 8 p.m. And as we were just talking about, Darius Slay has announced his retirement from football. Amy Fadul remains with the guys for the remainder of the show. This update is brought to you by Papa John's, introducing new pan pizza from Papa John's. Order a medium, one-topping pan pizza, just $11.99 when you download the Papa John's app or at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza. That's Papa John's. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the
We will. But first, let's hear what they got into earlier today on Kincade and Salciunas.
What will our relationship be with Bryce Harper in the 2026 baseball season? Because if you think about it, to preserve his career, he moves to first base. Like, they are making decisions, have been making decisions on Bryce Harper to kind of continue his career. Now, nobody's saying that he is going to fall off to the point where he stinks this year. But what led to the not elite comment by Dave Dombrowski was basically, is he Bryce Harper from his prime? And he's not.
He's not.
Still a very good player, but he's not prime Bryce Harper.
And Bryce took offense to being questioned about whether he's elite or not. And this is where I just question when Bryce comes out with his not elite shirt that he then won't even take ownership of. That's where I got really disappointed. He wears the not elite shirt. He goes on the passive-aggressive media tour going after Dave Dombrowski. And then he acts like, oh, the shirt? They gave it to me, and of course I'm going to wear it. No, Bryce, you had it made. You wore it.
You knew that somebody was going to take a picture of you wearing it.
You wanted to say, shove it, Dave Dombrowski. Just own it. I would much more respect if he said, I felt a certain way about how Dave Dombrowski spoke. Yeah. I still respect Dave. Dave's a great baseball man. I disagree with his assessment.
Could you put all that on a shirt?
I know. He could just say it when he goes on his little passive-aggressive media tours.
Right.
He could just say those words. I would respect that. And I would completely understand it if I was Bryce Harper.
Now, back to the show.
It is 9 a.m. on this Tuesday morning. Amy Fadul in studio with us today. Started off the show talking about our relationship with Bryce Harper and what it will be during the 2026 season, because for the first time, it feels like he isn't bulletproof in Philadelphia. It feels like there's been more criticism of Bryce Harper recently. What he had to say this offseason, about what Dave Dombrowski had to say. Then he talks about the 4-hole being an issue. And while he said that, he dropped in the can't wait to hit in front of Aaron Judge comment. Now he's struggling in the World Baseball Classic. There are people out there that are overreacting to his struggles in the World Baseball Classic, but we can all agree that he brought it upon himself by saying the things that he had to say, which leads us to asking that question. The fact that people are overreacting to 6 games in a tournament, it tells me that there are people that are feeling a certain type of way about Bryce Harper right now.
They're spiking the football way too early, and they're doubting a guy who has done nothing but prove to you over and over again that these things don't last long with him.
Sure.
When he has his bad streaks, you know the hot streak's coming.
Right.
He's going to dig his way out of it.
Yeah, he
now,
doesn't
whether
have
it's
slumps
and whether
that
it
last
gets to
long.
elite again, whether it's top of the sport,
Right.
yeah, that's different. But he's going to be a really, really good player again. I'm not betting against him.
Me
I'll
neither.
tell you that much. I'm not going to do it.
No, absolutely not. And then the Eagles, Amy, we haven't gotten your answer on this yet. Do you
Yeah, that's an
believe
interesting question.
the gap is closing? So on FanDuel, we went through this last week. It's changed again, even closer now. Not by much, but the Eagles are plus 125 to win the NFC East. The Cowboys are plus 220. Dominique Foxworth, let's play it again, Connor. Yesterday on Get Up was talking about the NFC East. The question was sort of, is the gap closing? And this was his answer.
I think so, and I would focus in on the Washington Commanders because if they can get Jaden Daniels back and healthy for a full season, I think that offense will be okay. They were aggressive with how they approached defense this year, and I think we're going to see a much more blitz-happy, big play, turnover-oriented defense, especially since they brought Durante Jones over from the Vikings. He's a Flores disciple, so you're going to see an aggressive defense. They added Owe and Amenahue and Kason edge rushers that can do the similar things that you saw from the Vikings with Grenard and Van Ginkel. So I think this team, my expectations are getting higher and higher for the Washington Commanders as we get close to the season.
You don't have to respond to the Commanders part because we all have different opinions on who
Sure.
that team could be. But, Amy, do you believe the gap? And last year, the Eagles won their division with 11 wins. The Cowboys finished with 7. So it was a 4-game
Yeah, it was
gap.
substantial.
Do you believe the gap is closing in the NFC?
I mean, if my gap basis is 11-7, then yes. But inherently, I do. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think competition always is going to be healthy. You don't want to be complacent and think, oh, we just got the NFC East locked up because
Right.
it's a bad division type of vibe. It's traditionally a very good division. It's always producing teams that go very far in the playoffs. I tend to say that the gap is closing. I don't think it's closed. I don't think that there's a team that's going to be knocking on the Eagles' door and you're going to be fighting tooth and nail until week 17 or anything crazy.
So you don't?
I don't think they're going to fight to the very end. I think there will be a team that will put pressure on them, and then I think the Eagles will win the division. But I feel like the gap is much more narrow than it was. I think 4 games in between is, I think, more like 2 games in between.
Like, you think...
But I think the Eagles will hold the division.
Like, I'm looking at the schedule. I'm thinking of the schedule. Like, so...
Week 1
New Year's
W.
Eve.
I don't disagree with his assessment of the
Week 2 L.
Commanders either.
New Year's Eve. Do you think this division's in jeopardy? Like, still hanging
So
in
is
the
that
balance?
week 17 or week 18?
Like it's
That's week 7.
usually 2 games to go.
I don't think it's locked up yet. Last year, I was Salciunas saying that the division would be locked up with 2 weeks left. You were saying that games wouldn't, you were thinking that maybe
I said
games
it wouldn't
wouldn't
even
matter
yeah.
for the Eagles and for their
I think the
opponents.
last week won't matter. I think
Okay.
I think 2 to 3 weeks
So
out.
we'll have another debate about whether or not starters should play in Week 18 or not.
I'm always pro that, but whatever. What do I know?
I think it's going to be more of a sweat this year, and it's
I think the gap is closing.
It's because I just think if Dallas makes their defense marginally better, they're a dangerous team.
It was a great offense. We saw that. That's one of the reasons when everybody's talking about you got to get more corners, you have to have a corner play opposite Quinyon Mitchell. They point to the Cowboys. It's the second sentence out of people's mouths when they were hunting for that extra corner. Obviously, they picked up a corner, and I'm sure they're going to draft somebody in the secondary as well. But it was because George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, you need 2 people to cover both of those guys.
Did we just not learn though that the whole resting starters thing that it didn't work out?
I'm not.
It didn't work out.
I'm not pro resting starters.
You would have had the Green Bay Packers at home, not the San Francisco 49ers
I'm not pro
at
that.
home. I mean,
Would have had that's an opinion thing. There's always
you would have had the Green Bay Packers at home, and you would have had the Chicago Bears coming.
I just don't think there's a scientific yes or right or wrong answer.
Well, last year was terrible. You would have had
the year before was not.
You would have had the Green Bay Packers at home, and you would have had and then you would have had the Bears coming to your building the next week,
and they won the Lombardi Trophy the year before.
Good.
I don't think there is a right or wrong answer.
There isn't. I think it's dependent situationally.
Well, they won the Lombardi
for the season.
Trophy because somebody else knocked off somebody else for you. It's the idea is you already had 2 games. You ended up getting a 3rd game. This is you already had 2 games that year, the year you won the Lombardi. You got the 3rd game because somebody else gave you a gift. You needed the second game.
Maybe if the Lions rested their starters.
Maybe they would have been.
Maybe if Dan Campbell didn't run his players to the
into
ground.
the ground.
Yeah, like maybe it'd be a little
I think
bit
it's
different for 'em.
situational on that. But I do
Last
think
year was a disaster.
I don't think that the Eagles are going to have the division locked up with 5 games to go or anything crazy, or 4 games to go
They were
like it was
locked
last
up.
year.
Yeah,
it was
they
locked
were
up. There was no
locked up.
question about it.
I remember
halfway through the season, you thought there's no one else touching this team.
I remember Johnny Marks. Johnny Marks was pro play starters week 18. He was like, if you're worried about health, then sit him week 17 as well.
I mean, it makes no sense.
It didn't matter at that
Right.
point.
It didn't matter.
All right, what do we have on the Davis Honda text line? Feel the Davis difference. Check them out, Burlington. And then we will get into this potential overrating of our own players here in a moment. Well, what do we got on the text line? Also, congratulations to Will Damian, our latest qualifier. The answer was D. Gordon. D. Gordon raked 18 career home runs. But he also had that really cool one when after the tragic passing of Jose Fernandez.
Also, the accepted answer on the text line and why Will won was D. Strange Gordon.
That's when he was
Name
known as D.
change.
Strange.
But did it have to be D. Strange?
It did for
Hyphenated.
me.
Okay.
Hyphenated.
All right, guys. What we got on the text line, Connor Strange?
This texter checks in on the Bryce Harper conversation. Clearly more on Harper's side and says, we paid the price for Harper for consistency. Upside is elite. Downside is all-star. Plus his defense at first base. I'll take that all day.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look.
He's not an elite player anymore, though.
I just don't know how you can say that yet.
No. He may be this year if he comes
Yeah.
back to being a level, but he hasn't been. The last 2 years, his numbers aren't elite.
Let me ask
Last
you a
year
question.
Last year, 2 years ago, absolutely. was.
2 years ago, he was 6th in MVP voting.
Yeah, he had a very good year
In
that year.
2024, John, would you sign up right now for 30 home runs, 87 ribbies, a 285 average, a 373 on base percentage?
Would I sign up for this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I take it. I'm
Yeah.
still not saying that makes you elite. I don't think that. I think the elite players in baseball, when you're talking about elite players, you're talking about the Judges, the Ohtanis, the biggest names, and those numbers aren't. That's not theirs. That's not theirs.
I mean,
not,
those are two
he's Not in
guys.
that. He's not in that discussion. Well, those elite
Juan
is
Soto's elite.
elite is the elite. Is the top. I don't think he's
If
in
you're
that
6th
discussion.
in MVP voting,
That's an elite year.
That's pretty good.
How many players play Major League Baseball?
A lot.
26 per 30. I'm not a big
Come on.
math guy.
Come on, math man.
And
don't
Not,
forget-
not
don't
including
forget-
call-ups?
He says
Call-ups,
math is his bad thing.
let's call it around 800.
He says math is his bad thing.
All right. What else we got?
All right, we also have a check-in on that comment we had on Twitter about not seeing the Bryce Harper freaking out. This texter says, what is that person talking about? Everybody is talking about Bryce Harper right now, especially with the World Baseball Classic. He hasn't been performing well. It's concerning, and every Philly fan is on ice waiting to see what he'll be this year.
Yeah. I mean, if he takes another step down, right? And look, step down, still 25 home runs, 70 ribbies. Like, it's statistically a good season, but it's not what you're paying Bryce Harper to be. And then you're going to start looking around of who's the guy that's going to uplift this team. You have one.
Otto Kemp.
You have one, and it's Kyle Schwarber. Like, Trey Turner's a nice player. Trey Turner's not carrying a baseball team, right? He's just not. And then from 4 through 9, the order, there's nobody carrying you. There's guys that are going to get hot and have a good month, have a good week. Like Brandon Marsh had a great stretch after the month of May, but he's not carrying a baseball team. Kyle Schwarber carried the Phillies last year.
Absolutely. Oh, he carried them for months.
If Schwarber goes from 56 home runs to 48, still a tremendous season. But you need Bryce Harper to play up. You absolutely need to.
Big time.
All right,
you need him to not be sensitive if somebody says, yeah, that's not elite.
Well, that's going to be a story. That's going to be a storyline. I think he gets quiet during the season.
You think he does? Because
Yeah.
he's been very chatty.
Yeah, I think he's quiet during the season.
Okay.
At least I hope. All right, here's your next name that PED user. I'll give you another Philadelphia player. Now, there is no factual statement being made. I am using the eye test, as we talked earlier about Jim Salsbury, but I don't know if anyone can disagree with the eye test here. All right, this guy got suspended for 50 games in 2013. Big ass. And I'm not talking about like he is a jerk. I'm talking about this guy's got a big rump.
The original big dumper?
Do you guys know who I'm talking about without giving the answer?
Was he a guy that could hit a home run even if his position didn't allow for it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a pitcher.
Yeah, there you go.
He was a pitcher. Is your next clue? But
yeah. He could hit a home run.
Big rumper.
Yeah, got it. Know it.
Big rumper.
Whoever gets that one right, 610
In fairness, he's an overall large human.
Large human being.
I didn't think so.
No, I felt like he was a bigger dude. I gotta look up.
Let's look up his measurables.
Yeah, let's look. Come on now. Because I would tend to lean with Amy on that one.
5'11", 202 pounds.
Yeah, it's
For
not
an
as good as I
athlete,
thought.
I think that's fair for an athlete.
All right.
I'll take it as a 5'11 guy. 5'11, gigantic. Tallest guy to ever play.
Big butt. He had a really big butt. All right. We'll see if anyone can get that one right. All right. John, you have an interesting question about some of our players here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean, it's for the second kid. Look, how do we all think about Dallas Goedert?
He's a really, really, really good
You know,
player.
we all love Dallas Goedert and look at him very highly here. But for the second consecutive year, the NFL told Dallas Goedert on the open market, you're not even getting a multi-year deal for any kind of money anywhere, which is shocking to all of us. We don't understand it. But obviously, we overvalue him compared to the way that NFL teams overvalue him. But I'm asking you this. Have we done the same thing with A.J. Brown? With the market on A.J. Brown.
I don't. The thing is, like there was an overriding outside of Philadelphia theme and sentiment that the Eagles can't afford Dallas Goedert. They're not. They better go out and get a different guy. They better find somebody else. They better draft a tight end because they're not going to be able to afford him given what they want to do with other contracts. That's not just here in Philadelphia.
Right.
So it was a real concern that they weren't going to be able to pay him. So it's not just us being so insular of like he's amazing, he's the best tight end ever. We got to have him.
But nobody offered him. He had no deal elsewhere.
But I'm not saying we weren't alone in that. There was like people talking about it in Atlanta. There's people talking about it in on the national stage. There were people saying that there's no way. Matt Berry came out and said, absolutely not. The Eagles will not be able to afford him. Now, I'm not saying Matt Berry's the end-all, be-all, but other people that signed tight ends, other teams, they were talking about, hey, maybe we can make a run at Dallas Goedert because the Eagles won't be able to resign him. Yeah. I just think they thought they were going to be able to get him as a deal.
But I think they figured out that nobody offered him a multi-year deal. Nobody offered him any kind of money. He took a $3 million pay cut to come back this year to us.
Well, he had been injured every year before this year.
Yeah, and this year was a good one. And he took a $3 million pay cut to come back.
Yeah. No, I get it.
So I ask you this. Howie reportedly, if you believe the reports, is asking for a first and a third. They don't have to be in the same year.
Right.
In the draft.
Kind of, again, the Quinn and Williams package is what keeps popping up.
If Jamar Chase was available today, put on the market, and they said first and a third.
Yeah,
how many teams would call?
Numerous teams.
Puka Nacua.
A lot.
Yeah.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
A lot. Age is a big factor.
CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
Pickens.
Yeah. He's got a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
Less than 8.
I think Pickens would be somebody would take it. And then they'd
depends
sign
on the deal,
him.
but I don't
sign him.
I don't know about that deal for him.
Malik Neighbors? I'd do it.
You have to see off.
I'd do it.
You have to see off the injury first.
Oh, I would do it. I would do it in a second.
Not
for
from,
just as you
would. It's a no me for
because
Malik
the injury,
Neighbors.
you'd be worried about that one from Malik Neighbors. I'm looking at is that there are plenty of receivers that if that same price is out there, there is a huge market and a quick market.
Sure. Those players are also not available, and there's not many good available wide receivers. So that's why Howie's asking high.
But if those guys are available, there's no discussion of this is going on weeks. This is going on.
Sure.
They're so are we overvaluing what A.J. Brown is because it's what we do in Philadelphia?
Yeah, and you know what?
Howie
should do that.
No. I understand what Howie should do. I'm talking about do we overvalue him? Because these players, because I'm saying is these other guys, they'd be snatched up.
You know how Philadelphia is overvaluing John? That there's no asking price for people.
Right.
That's how he's being overvalued.
Go on, expound on that a little bit.
Like, there are people that don't want to hear anything about a potential trade.
Correct.
I don't.
Okay. I get what you mean now.
I don't want him traded. I've made that abundantly clear for the billionth time. I don't want A.J. Brown traded. But if somebody offered the Eagles a 1 and a 3, like, I can't say no to a guy that's turning 29 years old and last year was filled with drama that he created and it was really freaking annoying. As much as I love the player, as much as I love the person, but there are people overvaluing A.J. Brown in this city to the point where they don't even want to hear any sort of trade. So, yes, I do believe that happens.
I just wonder, again, though, is it something where Howie, because now he's supposedly, if you believe people, he's got one team at the table. Again, I told you, the people are like, yeah, the Rams did call about A.J. Brown. I'm sure they did. I'm sure there are a list of other teams. I'm sure there's a list of other teams.
Yeah, we'll take him for a second-round
pick. That called
pick.
about A.J. Brown. That's such a non-story. As I got a rolling eyes emoji from my Rams contact. Yeah, they called. Yeah. But a rolling eyes.
Kick the tires.
Everybody's going to kick the tires.
Yeah.
Howie's going to kick the tires. But to me, do we believe that do we look at him as a better player?
Well,
A.J. Brown?
Looks at him.
Here's something that needs to be accounted for: the history of Philadelphia Eagles wide receivers.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing.
Not a bad point, Connor.
A lot of folks in the meat of this fan base grew up watching Todd Pinkston, James Thrash, Nelson
You don't have
Aguilar,
to tell me.
Jalen
it's
Rager.
true.
Do I need to go on?
No.
And you've had A.J.
Are they not
Brown.
1,000-yard receivers every year? It's so weird.
They were not.
Or ever.
But A.J. Brown has only been here. It feels like a long time. He's been here 4 years.
Right.
He's a 1,000-yard receiver every year.
But it's not enough for him.
That's a different conversation.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, it is the conversation.
Well, no.
You're asking how
How
we
we value him.
Yeah,
not how
I mean,
he rates himself.
It's that we're so tortured, though, as a fan base, that a player being disgruntled by being on a winning team and still getting plenty of numbers and plenty of team success, that it's not enough for him.
But that's the city. A lot of people, I'll go back to Twitter polls of past before Dr. Avidan Appel. It's why they weren't as strong. They're stronger now.
Correct.
Twitter polls of past. Would you trade Reese Hoskins for either Mike Trout or Giancarlo Stanton? Majority of people said
You can
no.
go back even further. Would you ever trade Don Brown?
Yeah, and people said no. Would you include Bryson Stott in a package for Shohei Ohtani? People said no. And not and not a few, many said no. A majority said no because we fall in love with somebody. Would you trade Tyrese Maxey for Kevin Durant? Not this version of Tyrese Maxey. Doc Rivers would not play this guy, Tyrese Maxey, and people said no because we loved his personality, and he looked like Allen Iverson. He played like Allen Iverson. Now, that's worked out for the Sixers. That's the one that's worked out. The other ones I laugh at to this day that people were that just not smart when it came to the sport of baseball. But that's what we do in this city.
Gentleman asking me here, he goes, well, why have you not mentioned Chris Olave? Why have you not mentioned Nico Collins? Why have you not mentioned Jamison Williams? Would all be, if they were available for a 1 and a 3, teams would knock the door down.
Completely disagree.
Really?
Jameson Williams not going to 1 to 3.
Jamison Williams wouldn't?
No, not going to garner that.
Really?
He's the third
How many
guy
1,000-yard
on that
receivers, or how many 1,000-yard seasons do those guys have in a row?
Yeah, I got to tell you, though, there's
Not 4 in a row. I can tell you Chris Olave does not have 4 1,000-yard receivers.
No, he doesn't. But again, you're taking into consideration, you got to take into consideration age. You got to, as far as
AJ's not even 30 yet, right?
He's 29. This will be 29 years.
I also do not give a damn about age because the Eagles have a chance to win a Super Bowl this year. They won one 2 years ago. Like, trade market, yes, but as the evaluation of a fan base that's trying to win,
it doesn't.
I don't care about like a Nico Collins who could be or a Malik Neighbors who could be. I need the guy who is. And AJ
because
Brown
of where
is.
you are right now. It's interesting because sometimes we overvalue, but sometimes we undervalue.
That's an interesting angle.
Because we can undervalue. There's a lot of people that undervalue current players on this team and enter a team here, like whatever.
Right.
And it's when you talk to people from the outside or you take outside kind of like the temperature of the national media or whatever, they're like, I can't believe they don't appreciate and enter whatever player you want here. And we're like, yeah, but you don't know them like we, you know what I mean? It's the same thing.
Right.
So it's like when you overvalue,
That's the
it's
other
like,
side of that
but
coin.
you don't know them like we do. Like it's just, we like who we like. Okay?
It's an interesting one.
We like who we like.
All right, coming up next, I said former Philly on that last question.
See, I didn't hear that part.
Because a lot of people were guessing Bartolo Colon.
That's who I did not hear former Philly. That's why we were.
I said former Philly
we
when
missed
I
that.
started.
When you said,
we could
so
check
that's
the
why
tape.
we were surprised.
Because I was
like, oh, that guy's like 280, 290.
That's
That's why
we looked at each
I
other.
said another former Philly, and then I talked about the big ass.
Sorry. Yeah.
We already
I
have
missed
our
that point.
qualifier, so you can say it.
We have.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's Tony.
Antonio Bastardo.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Big ass, right? Eye test.
Oh, I don't think that's a.
that
That's
guy had a big rumper. Antonio Bastardo.
When you said that, I was like, Bartolo Colon.
I was talking Bartolo
He hits home
Colon.
runs.
All right, coming up next, another question of Name That PD User. Also, Johnny, I've loved the World Baseball Classic. I'm happy that you've enjoyed it more.
I've enjoyed it more, much more.
There
And I
are
thought it
two major flaws, though, with this tournament that need to be discussed. And it impacts tonight's championship game in which the Team USA is in it. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
There are flaws in people's retirement planning and people's financial planning as a whole, and that's why Dan White and Associates works with folks for now almost 4 decades, addressing each of their needs individually, stress testing people's retirement plans, taking a different approach than most advisors by educating clients on retirement planning. They can help you find certainty in your financial future, whether you're in your 20s or your 40s or your 60s. Finances in retirement can be an overwhelming topic. Trying to figure out the finances to pay for college educations or getting that next house can be also. They host educational seminars throughout Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland. You can go and be a passive listener, pick up some of their great tips, and then set up your own complimentary, no-risk consultation where you can talk about this stuff privately, one-on-one, with their great team. Dan White and Associates does it. They do a great, great job. And what they do personally is make sure that each of your needs are addressed individually. And they take the stress out of talking about money, which can be a very, very overwhelming topic. All you got to do is have the first conversation. And then the next conversations come much easier. Check out danwhiteandassociates.com, have that first conversation, and then create that long-term relationship. Tell them John Kincade sent you.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Setting up for the stretch run, I'm Connor Thomas, and the Sixers and Flyers are getting set for the home stretch of their regular seasons. We've crossed the halfway point of March. For the Flyers, it's going to be a welcome surprise if they find their way into the postseason, considering they started the year in a rebuilding type of year. Flyers president Keith Jones joined us yesterday. He talked about the excitement he has with what he's been able to accomplish in his current role.
One of the things I'm really happy about is we are alleviating a lot of the cap pressure that we had in the past. All of that money is starting to come off the book. That was one of the objectives when Danny and I took over.
Flyers are off tonight. They'll host the Ducks tomorrow night. The Sixers are in action tonight in Denver against the Nuggets, a 10 p.m. tip-off. You can hear that game here on The Fanatic. Their postseason push, well, they're trying to survive injuries. They've got 14 games left. They're tied for the 8th seed in the East. We've just got 9 days left until opening day for the Phillies. They're making roster cutdowns in spring training. Johan Rojas, well, he made that decision himself. He got an 80-game PED suspension from Major League Baseball yesterday. Team USA has their opponent for the World Baseball Classic final. The game's tonight at 8 p.m., and they will face off against Venezuela in that matchup. And Darius Slay has announced his retirement from professional football. This update is brought to you by Uber Eats. Philly, you hungry? Good thing Uber Eats has a great deal waiting for you at Coco's Cookies and Creamery. From now till March 31st, get a buy one, get one free deal on a milkshake all in the Uber Eats app. Order now only on Uber Eats. Terms apply. See app for details. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
youtube.com/975 The Fanatic Philadelphia. More of Kincade and Salciunas coming your way now.
The final hour of Kincade and Salciunas is presented to you by The Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. You can get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. You need details? Go to Bagster.com.
Amy's very fond of the dumpster in a bag.
You got to have them picked up, though.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe I should leave a note for the guy that I pass.
Have it filled,
I'd imagine he passes it too. He sees it in his yard.
and then call for pickup.
How long we talking?
I mean, a month. We've had snows, and it's been snowed on.
Snows.
And then
We've had numerous snows.
multiple snows.
Yeah, you need to
But every
have
time
it
I pass
picked
it, I say it's a dumpster.
And it's
in
a
the
quick
bag."
phone call. That's all it is.
You've already
That was
paid
nice
for
of
it.
that picture
Yeah.
yesterday. I appreciate
You
the
saw
picture.
it. You saw it.
All right. Before we get to the flaws of the World Baseball Classic, and I don't know how you fix them. We'll try to figure it out, us bright minds together. But let me give one more name that PED user for your chance to win a pair of tickets for the Sixers game, March 25th, spot in knockout as well. I'm going to go with one more Philly, two-time Philly, also two-time PED user.
Oh.
All right.
Wow.
This guy played for the Phillies twice, took PEDs twice. The second time he got pinched, he was like, I'm done. Is that enough of a clue, or do you need a little bit more?
I'm lost on that one.
A little more.
Yeah.
All right.
Give me one of
big's
the
his
one of the
ass?
years.
How big's his ass?
No, the ass talk is he started his career with the Phillies. How about that?
Okay.
Started his career at the Phillies in the early 2000s.
Okay.
And came back in that awful 2014 season where everybody lied to themselves saying they still had a chance. And
the beginning of the end.
and they
Wow.
and they wanted to keep the band together
Yeah.
for another year.
I think I might know it.
I do not. I
and-
am totally lost.
The incredible story of this guy that I did not know about. So he got pinched the first time not with the Phillies in 2012. He actually was never pinched with the Phillies, but in 2012 he got caught. In 2011 during the offseason, he began practicing Muay Thai and lost 40 pounds and built a lot of muscle. So Wikipedia tells you that he credited his body change
To Muay Thai. Not to PEDs.
And then months later,
That's like
he gets suspended.
who was the random guy? I can't remember.
Tim Salmons? Who was it?
The guy for the Orioles, Jay whatever. Remember, he just like all of a sudden exploded, and he was like, "Oh, because I
And he
eat leaner
started
now."
his career as a Philly.
Yes, that guy.
But I
yeah.
remembered that story.
Yeah, I got this one actually.
You have?
Yeah, so this is gettable.
All right, yeah. Well, I think once I told you the years he played.
Yeah, when you said the
Early 2000s, yeah. But yeah, he credited Muay Thai to his body change, and then it's, oh wait, what's this in your blood that you all of a sudden have? You can text in the answer that you believe is correct to 610-632-0975.
Okay, I'm really, this is going to bother me.
I will, just an aside, one of my friends, shout out, hi Matt, said, would that be the dumpster in a bag on Valley Forge Road?
See, there it is.
So you know exactly what.
We're shouting him out.
There it is.
Hey.
Love the dumpster in a bag.
Guy, we appreciate you getting the 9 o'clock sponsored product, but get it picked up.
Yeah.
That's all.
Pick
All
it
right.
up.
World Baseball Classic championship game is tonight. Team USA versus Team Venezuela. Italy with the audible yesterday. What was supposed to be the Lorenzen start setting up Aaron Nola versus USA. If Italy won, they pivoted, went Nola to start. Lorenzen piggybacked, and then they lose, and Team Venezuela heads to the championship game tonight. So there's two flaws with the World Baseball Classic, and I love it. This is coming from a guy that is obsessed with the tournament and always has been obsessed with the tournament. It's not like just the flavor of the month numbers are going up. Like, no, I loved it in 2009 when Adam Jones was robbing home runs. The close proximity of opening day is one of the problems. I don't know how you fix that.
That's what I
tough.
complained about from the beginning.
Because of the way the offseason is, the way the postseason, the only way is to make the season shorter or start sooner. So you end, and then therefore it's not. But the way that spring training, you can't have the World Baseball Classic in February.
Tariq Skubal should be starting tonight for Team USA.
Oh, gosh.
He is not.
So much of a different game.
You brought up earlier the Padres and Mason Miller.
And Mason Miller's not going to pitch tonight.
Well, we don't know yet.
As of right now, it does not appear he's going to pitch tonight, and the Padres have told him, don't pitch.
And here's the deal. It's not that the Padres are anti-America. It's that the Padres traded 17 prospects to acquire him.
And they're like, do not do it. And by the way, as a Padres fan, he should. You would say he shouldn't pitch tonight
because you're worried about his
and he's
longevity.
And they worked him a lot.
He's pitched.
Worked him a lot.
Well, they had to use him against Italy at the end.
No, I mean, but you did.
Yeah, because Mark DeRosa forgot and had Clayton Kershaw warming up.
Hey, that'll be fun. Put that guy out there.
So that's one.
Why is Clayton Kershaw on that roster?
Stability. Fun.
Honor him, and he could pitch because he's not. He doesn't have any.
Yeah, I mean,
he's not like he's pitching for a team this year.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like the Lifetime Achievement Award thing. That's got to go.
Sure.
Could have played.
That's a whole.
So that's one. The other thing, it is criminal.
Okay.
That you don't push the championship game a day. Team Venezuela just played last night and used half their bullpen.
Yeah, that's tough.
And now they're pitching today when Team USA had a day off. That shouldn't happen. For a championship game, this isn't a seeding thing. It's not like Team USA had the benefit of it. There's no way you can have Team USA play Sunday, Team Venezuela play Monday, and now both teams play Tuesday.
But they had the only reason I heard them talking about this yesterday, though, they had a break earlier where they got more rest when Team USA didn't, I believe.
Coming out of pool play?
There was something out of they had you either got rest at a certain time or another time. That sucks. I mean, it does.
Yeah.
I agree with you. It sucks.
I think the championship game, it should be they should not play tonight. It should be Wednesday night. You have the two teams. They each got a day off, and now they get a chance to play. Because, I mean, look at the guys that Team Venezuela played to win last night, as they should, because it's single elimination. And they were using their horses out of the pen, and they were
never
pitching.
been to the
Absolutely,
never been to the championship, right?
I don't believe that they.
I don't think they'd ever been to the championship.
So, last night was a big deal for them, and now it's like, oh, well, Avila, who was throwing 100 miles per hour, and I think he was the one that drilled the umpire in the face.
Mm-hmm.
These guys aren't available tonight.
So here's what you do.
Umpire's thankful.
Right, because we've seen it with hockey. We've seen it with the Olympic break. Every 4 years when they do this, when they get back on the normal schedule, you go to 140-game season. The season's already too long. You do it in the middle of the season, and then post-pool play, you expand the rosters by a couple spots to allow more bullpen arms so these guys don't have to throw as often.
See, I would be much less
That's
worried.
a very logical,
Connor, I love it.
thought out thing.
Locked On World Baseball Classic podcast.
It's coming soon.
Much less worried about my players' health in the tournament playing this in the middle of the season.
Yeah, everyone's stretched out.
I'd feel much better about it.
Problem solved.
Like if I'm
but then we'd be like, but are we worried about them getting too much run? Because, while we're trying to get in the postseason run,
people complain about Tyrese Maxey playing in the All-Star
I'm more worried
game.
about these guys ramping up. These guys playing at this level of attention, this
Especially
level
pitchers.
of
Pitchers are the
this is
ones
much
that
different than
it's the
spring
only
training.
control that you're like, I don't want to burn that guy. A batter, I think it's helpful, right? You're in the flow. It's like, let's go. That's no one ever bats an eye for the All-Star game for the guy to be in the home run derby. That's great. You get those swings in.
I heard Ricky talking about it on Unfiltered, that people just saying, well, they'd be throwing in spring training or they're throwing in the World Baseball
Totally
Classic. And
different.
Ricky was like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, it's a totally different.
You're throwing
thing.
at 70% in spring training.
And you're in a spring training
Mason
game.
Miller was hitting 101, 102 every single time if you had a fastball.
You are trying to in spring training. It's a completely different.
You're
animal.
working on things.
You're
like,
working
hey,
on things, right? And you don't care.
If you did it in season, most of the guys would end up playing less if you cut down the number of games in a regular season than they would in a normal year. So you don't even have to worry about the wear and tear.
I think the benefits to Major League Baseball would be huge.
By the way, summertime.
Oh my gosh!
Nothing else going on.
Can you imagine July?
You could play in different stadiums where you're not restricted to Houston and Miami.
It would be so huge.
Well, you still need the. I was talking about this with my wife the other day.
Still need a dome.
It needs to be dome because you
can't have rain delays.
You can't have rain delays, right? It has to be a dome.
But there are other domes.
Well, you could do San Diego or
you could do
something.
retractable domes.
Yeah,
or
but
something
safe
like
go.
bottom line is, it's got to be a field where you're not going to have any postponements,
Right.
or cancellations of games.
Right.
Like it's got to be
Or
somewhere.
you could
where
do
it's inside.
what's it? Unilock Field at Dodger Stadium.
I have no clue.
They sold their field.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The Dodgers. What?
Are you going to
I
call
gotta
it
pay
that?
the translator.
No, you're going to still call it
Nope.
Dodger Stadium,
Hey,
just like it's still Heinz
Literally.
Field.
The
I was thinking that
broadcasters for the Dodgers and everything are required.
Yeah,
Of course
no,
you're
of course
required.
they are. Yeah,
I
you're
did
not.
the other day. Well, this was not the other day. It was maybe like last month. Whenever the Sixers were out the West Coast, And I was like teasing. I was like, yeah, we're coming up. We'll talk about their game at the Staples Center. I was like, I don't know what it's called now.
Center. Yeah.
Crypto.com. The crypt, whatever it is.
Well,
we
that's
all
on
call
the
it
Sixers
Staples.
patches, too.
Yeah. Crypto.
All right.
Got it.
By the
All
way,
over it.
Johnny, the answer.
I got this one.
Okay, give me
Go ahead, Amy.
give me one more clue.
One more clue.
He was a salty fella, I can tell you that much.
I mean, he had
Is it
One more
infielder?
clue.
Outfielder?
mainly outfielder.
Yeah, he was a bit of a utility guy.
Was he speedy?
He probably back
maybe
in the
after
day.
the Muay Thai.
Yeah.
If you like the Eagles, you say go.
Bird, Marlon Bird.
There
There
you
you go. Good job, Connor.
Oh, that's a giveaway, man. I
Marlon
would
Bird.
not have
Yeah.
gotten Marlon Bird.
Yeah, he credited Muay Thai.
Wow.
And then he got popped for PED use.
My
Tremendous.
ties.
And 2014 was the year where they lied to
Yeah.
themselves.
And that was the 162 suspension. He's like, I'm out.
That's
Yeah,
incredible.
he said, I'm out. I'm done after this.
I'm coming back for this.
All right, coming up next, what is Amy Fadul doing Thursday at 12:15? We have college
Drinking?
basketball tourney
No, I have to
time.
work that night.
Does anyone care about today and tomorrow? We'll talk about that next year on the Fanatic.
Hey, live bet on the Bet Parks app. You can live bet pro basketball, pro hockey, but of course, it's the big tournament. College hoops is there too. There's always another way to win on the Bet Parks online casino and sportsbook app. You know what's good to do? You see a bunch of big favorites. Well, why don't you load up on all them, and then you can put them into a same-game parlay. A multi-game parlay, and take care of that. BetParks has your favorite classic casino games, too, right there on your phone. You want to play some craps, roulette, blackjack while you're waiting for a doctor's appointment at the DMV, whatever it is, hundreds of online slots. They've got them all for you. And if you're a new user, you can get up to $1,000 in casino bonus back if you're down in your first 24 hours. They're not going to do that for you at a real casino, but they're going to do it for you at BetParks. Got that BetParks app. Whether your team scores or not, there's always other ways to win. On the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app. It's so much fun to use. And with the big tournament coming up, you don't want to miss a minute of the action. Got to be 21, Pennsylvania, Jersey, Michigan. Should you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLE.
Salciunas, Philly Sports Talk, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Andrew, John Connor, and Amy. Amy Fadul in with us. It is a Tuesday with Amy. All right, I have random stuff to give you here. Number one, would you ever buy a McDonald's limited edition candle?
What does
What do
it
you
smell
mean a
like?
candle?
They are selling 6 candles. It's all 6 items that make a quarter pounder. So
What?
you can get
Lettuce?
a sesame seed flavored candle,
Okay,
a
that's probably
ketchup
not terrible.
flavored candle,
Don't.
onion, pickle,
No.
cheese.
Do you have to burn them all at the same time?
That's gross.
Could if you wanted to. How about 100% fresh beef is one of the scented candles
That's gross.
from McDonald's. In or out?
Gross.
Out.
Who wants your house to smell like that? That's
Well,
why you have
if you
a
burn
fan.
them all at the same time. Well, the beef one.
Yeah, but that's
I
why
don't
you have
mind
a
grill
fan.
smell.
That's why you have a fan in your kitchen
I don't mind a grill
to get
like,
the
eh.
smell out of your house.
Yeah, Christy.
But the ketchup one is onion. I don't.
Yeah.
That's
that
terrible.
seems like that would be something you're not interested in.
Christy had a roommate in college, and she
Didn't use the fan when she cooked.
she had a bacon scented candle, and it was horrific. Like I remember walking to the house and literally being like, I can't stay.
You're looking for things that are sweet.
I'm
Man,
I'm
that's
out.
terrible.
Lovely,
Yeah, but not too
calming.
All right, that's number one. Number two, Johnny, this could have been you because you almost went to Jamaica. Unfortunately, the big storms that hit, ravaged the island. Somebody booked a resort through Airbnb. That's like a new thing you can do. You can book hotel rooms
this
through
is crazy.
Airbnb.
I didn't know that until probably like a couple of months ago. Yeah,
we're going to Florida.
it's a smart way for them to get their unsold rooms.
Right,
Because they used to do
exactly.
Priceline and stuff. Now
Okay.
people go through Airbnb.
However, the Airbnb was not taken off the market. The actual resort has since been abandoned because of the storms. So they went to the resort.
Oh no!
And they had an Airbnb, and
Yeah,
they
but
were
did
like,
they didn't get any confirmation. Usually, like the person
You
like,
wouldn't
hey,
like check and stuff.
Well,
like
no, because
that
they
before?
give you like the way you check in.
Yes,
It's like, hey, you're
exactly.
24 hours
Like
out,
24
unless
hours out.
unless it's automated.
it might be automated because
That's
it's a
terrible.
resort.
No.
So would you stay at the abandoned resort?
No.
You're
Yes.
still on the.
No.
You're still
Let's
on
go.
the water. There's nobody, but you're not getting food or drink. You're not. It's not
Yeah.
there.
Well, you might not be safe.
Do I have a fishing pole? I'll catch
I
some.
can tell you that. In Jamaica, by the way, in Jamaica,
In Airbnbs, technically, you're
You
not
never
usually
stay.
getting food and drink either.
Don't-
You're staying in
don't-
someone's house.
don't
That's
stay
true.
anywhere without security in Jamaica.
All right, that's number two.
Let me warn you.
I'm like, let's go.
Number three, I hate you, Disney, even though I do technically work for you
What?
as an ESPN employee. Did you see their latest commercial where they get you in the fields?
You hate them because you love them.
Yes.
I saw it.
They had a commercial where a dad and a son. They did the Disney cruise.
Oh, you
for
Yes.
years,
Yeah, oh, yes,
and then
yes.
everybody grows up.
Right.
I was in tears
Yeah,
yesterday.
that was
Cooper doesn't even know what Disney World is, and yet I was in tears yesterday.
that's a great
That's a
great
nice
commercial.
thing. That's a nice.
Did you see the dunk by DeAnthony Melton yesterday?
No.
Oh, dude,
What?
great dunk.
Locked in on base.
DeAnthony Melton has not played in 102 games or days because he had the injury. Remember, he tore his ACL.
Yeah, it was like it was
Daryl
right
Morey's
after
trying to get
the.
him.
It was right after the game with the Sixers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the maxi chase down
Yeah.
block at the
Yeah.
end.
Daryl Morey's offered him a multi-year deal.
Probably. He actually was a really good player. It's a shame because he's an injury guy, and it fits here. That's
why it does fit.
He's another guy that's just had
It
lots of
fits.
injuries, unfortunately. All right, one more thing. 2014 Phillies roster. So Marlon Byrd was our last answer.
Okay.
Congratulations to Noah Rosenstein from Conshohocken.
You know Noah?
Noah is the winner of our pair of tickets, Sixers Bulls, and the spot in Knockout March 25th. The 2014 Phillies is the all-time yes, they played here team.
Yeah.
So you
What's
had
that-
your
What's that mean?
It's like so and so. You're like, oh, they did. You're like, yeah, they played here.
You had your Chooch, Howard, Utley, Rollins, right? Ben Revere was on that team.
Was Cliff Lee still here?
He was still here. Grady Sizemore
Grady
was on that
Sizemore
team.
was here. Okay, very
Ah,
good.
yes.
Will Nieves, the catcher, was
Will
on
Nieves,
that team.
Okay.
Reed Brignac was on that team.
Don't remember that.
Jason Nix,
Okay.
brother of Lance Nix.
I remember that.
A.J. Burnett led the league in losses with 18
I
that
remember
year.
that.
Yeah, that was fun.
How about, I forgot, this is like, I erased this from my memory.
What?
Remember the incredible reliever with the San Diego Padres? He went to the Rangers. Trade deadline, was a part of that World Series team. Philly signed him. Mike Adams.
No.
Oh, no, I
not
do remember the
that.
name Mike Adams.
He got hurt and
Oh,
disappeared.
I remember him. He was very good, and
Yeah,
then
he
he
had a good
appeared
run.
here, and I didn't. You could
Philly
have.
signed him to a good deal, and then his arm just died.
Like, how many games did he pitch?
He pitched in 28 games in 2013 and then 22 in 2014
There you
and was
go.
never hurt again.
As a reliever.
He had a 2.89 ERA.
Wow.
He pitched in less
Wow.
than 30 games.
Yeah, but he still had a nice ERA.
No, he did, and then he got hurt, but he disappeared.
You never heard from him.
Never
again.
heard from Mike Adams again. Like, it
No.
was a shame because you were like, all right, like,
He was really good.
this is when Rube was still trying
Padres
to
good.
still trying
Rangers
to keep the band
good.
together.
Phillies, he couldn't.
Wow.
You were supposed to have a Mike Adams Papelbon, all-time saves leader of Phillies franchise history. 8th, 9th inning. But the arm.
Yeah, the bridge to Papelbon.
Makes me not as worried about the Phillies running it back to
Yeah,
the guys they have now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a good point. Oh, my God. All right.
Bullpen, I'm very excited for this year.
Yeah, it's going to be
Bullpen,
the
I'm
strength
like,
of this team.
really
man.
thrilled for.
So, are you guys in at all tonight, tomorrow? I'm not talking about the World Baseball Classic Championship game. I'm talking about the playing game.
Yeah.
No,
Don't do it for me.
not at all.
I want to see Miami, Ohio.
Is that
Me too.
tomorrow or is
I
that
think
tonight?
they got screwed.
I do too.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have to play in that
I also
tournament.
think if you're an automatic qualifier, you should not be in a play.
Correct.
A
You should
play-in.
be in the tournament. You're
So,
an
like when I
automatic
look at some of
qualifier.
those teams, I'm like, I don't like that. I think that that's a disservice to them.
Great
So if you're-
job. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's it.
Great job of Ray Dunn yesterday with John Marks and Sean Brace. That Bruce Pearl embarrassed himself the other night.
I mean, it's a day that ends in Y, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, he really that was embarrassing the other night.
But he's been pushing that for weeks now.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's embarrassing.
Yeah, it
It
was
was-
actually it started the day before when he really started stumping for it because
It's so
Auburn
bad.
started putting out stuff on their Instagram,
Yeah,
and,
right.
which was just great.
It's so bad.
And then he's just like, but the best is he just made it fodder. So like all these teams are coming out, like UMBC's like, hey, you know what? We didn't need a relative, and
Yes.
and SMU's like, why are we taking strays? Like,
Right.
what do you want us to do?
It was
So,
bad. That was bad.
Yeah, I just think at the end of the day, I'd rather watch a 31-win Miami of Ohio team instead of a
Anytime.
17-win
Yeah.
Auburn team.
A 17
I get
and
that you played a
16
tough
team,
schedule.
I don't want to hear about it.
Hey, you could do both.
You won like one of them.
Auburn plays South Alabama in the NIT tonight at 10 p.m.
No.
Primetime tip-off.
On
yeah,
principle.
locked in.
I got to
principle,
tell you,
I'm not
to the
watching
teams in the NIT, congratulations, but
Yeah, it doesn't do it for me.
No, I'll watch St.
I'm
Joe's.
not an NIT guy. It's,
I'll watch St. Joe's.
you know,
World,
I don't really
World
watch
Baseball Classic.
Team
Go
USA,
USA.
baby.
And
By the
then
way,
obviously
team-
you're going to be watching really late the Sixers and the Nuggets.
Yes.
Everyone,
Only
you'll be
for-
staying up
okay.
for
only
that.
for the coverage of NBC.
Thank
Only
you
for
so
the
much
coverage.
for staying
Maybe
up.
pregame.
So I'll be watching multiple things tonight, including the Sixers and the Nuggets, as you guys are watching basketball and only basketball.
Damn right.
Thanks so
By
much.
the way, I saw you retweeted Bryce Harper, the photo that they used, Team USA's official account,
I
game
know.
day, and it's Bryce Harper's face. How
Yeah.
about that? Can he be
Are
Captain
they
America today?
Are they doing it in order of the batting, how many hits guys have gotten in the tournament? And then each hour they're going to go closer?
Probably.
Maybe.
All right, everybody have a great rest of your day. Middays with Mark, Sean Brace, Ray Dunn next here on The Fanatic.